Please forgive me. I could not wait too long. Oh yeah, Jasmine. Well, remember that time when we went to 7-Eleven in West Valley? Because West Valley was the first place it was like, no, don't move over, Mormon people. And that freaking weird ass, like, hey, baby, just, yeah, you couldn't even go in the freaking, couldn't even go to 7-Eleven without somebody harassing. Hey, baby, what the fuck, go ahead, baby. Yeah. When I talked about earlier on another little stream about the difference between, like, when you know street crime has turned into just all-out war, when you can do it openly. And my God, how long ago is that? They just walk and do, hey, baby, start harassing and groping people in the middle of stores and not being dragged out and fucking have their faces beat in. If you've seen that happening, that's war. Then people walk in and start telling you to kneel and beating you and freaking nothing happens to them. Those are soldiers. And I've been in a war. You have a right. If enemy soldiers, you have a right to defend yourself. And that's why we left. Because those were the rules. They could kill us and we had to wait hours to make sure we didn't kill like people accidentally. Because, well, they have a right. Civilians have a right to fight back against occupying armies. Civilians have a right back to fight to shoot you in the head. There's nothing I can do because it's a war. How do you know it's a war? There's no law. How do you know there's no law? Because every law I know, you can't just arbitrarily grab somebody and start beating them to death. Minnesota. See, that's the funny thing. We can find more CCTV footage of violent attacks online than we ever see in court. So I don't care if you're the Buddha. The Buddhists can be strung up and flayed alive. Now, in Buddhism, I don't care if you're a freaking, I don't care if you're the Pope. All these people who said, go everywhere in the world and then we'll rule the world from the capital. There's a reason why the city government says it's called the capital. That's capitalism. It's not moneyism. It's capital. Where you see the capital, where the government is, that's capitalism. Washington is a capitol. Capitalism. We're going to talk about that because we have to make up definitions. If nobody can tell you what a word is, then freaking just use it. Hey, this is what I think it is. Business, just trying to trade food for clothes. Capitalism is a guy saying, you can't do that. You can't make that trade. I need money. Where's my part? You give me money and clothes. Here's your capital. That's all I need to say. But I'll say more. Because death threats on Twitter, well, Yeah, you may want the government to find and protect you. And oh no, you know what? But people who you've threatened, people I've threatened, oh, they found me a few times. I didn't threaten them. I just accepted their challenge. But they didn't say why. They didn't say because they found me on Twitter. We geolink it. They didn't say because we have a Twitter app from friggin' that. Well, Jack's no longer associated with them. He sold it to Elon. See, when you have an app on your phone, the app knows where you are. Twitter knows where you are. It's all up if the Twitter employees like you or not. You tried to make a business? You tried to promote your business online? And yeah, all those banks who had terms of services putting political litmus tests on people like Lawrence Southern, that's illegal. Government never said she was funding terrorism. That was a banking employee. There's a banking employee who's using your money to give to her relatives to buy boats to go over. The broken treaties. Well, how's Washington supposed to stop people going to other ports and just walking? They thought everybody coming from the east is just like the same people. And we know that's not true. It's trying to find somebody responsible for like what somebody else did that you don't even know. Oh, there was a crime here. It must be that guy's fault over like in this. Here's an address of a guy over in that other state. Now it's kind of true because we can move so fast. Scientists said that we couldn't go faster with cars and trains. Well, trains, if you went over 25 miles per hour, it would die. A human being would die. Now, obviously, we'd go faster than that. That's the speed of getting away. And when a criminal can get away that fast, and then somebody else is going to die where they go. Yeah, if we don't solve, it's the first 48 hours. If we don't solve a crime in 48 hours, well, you commit a crime and you just get on a plane and fly away. They're looking all over the city. You're in another country. How I started the sunrise thing, it was like 7:07. Now I'm past the clock, but at this point I don't care. If somebody's like, "Oh, see, he's violating, he's mocking, he's doing," no, I'm doing a fast because it's saving me money and paying at the bar. Otherwise, I'd be out spending more money. But freaking, what's 80% of my income? Zero. It's all savings. So I'm spending what percent of my income? Oh yeah, I don't have any. And just my life savings is going away because, well, rash me. Whatever your real name is, that's your spiritual name. All these people, all these women, it's my spiritual name. When these people going by their spiritual name, and say you mean them, that's because they don't want people to know who they are. Oh, you're that piece of garbage, Josh. But you have a brother who's even more of a freaking addict. Oh, Carlos. Yeah, that's your business name. They say you're cheap off the whole block. You've always kind of, eluded. It's interesting about you. But Jeff, if you get beaten and thrown in a ditch, that's the problem about putting an association official sticker on somebody who's authorized. They have a good reputation. Let's see what's up. How are my capitalists doing today? Well, unlike OBS, I'm going to turn off my VPN. Well, it's only 53% load. I'm using a different streaming service, or a different. Well, it's still OBS. Just they do a little mod. It's just another party vendor. I don't see where, but I don't have dropped frames listed. That's very important on the OBS one. Oh, maybe it's over here. Ooh, okay, it's even better. Let me tune in my favorite channels. Oh no, I'm rich. People look at the dollars and stuff. Your eyeballs get. Oh, you have more than $2 in cash. Oh, you have unlimited credit cards. Oh, credit cards. What would we do without credit cards? So apparently, rich people with their plastic, when they see somebody who actually has cash on them, they're like, "Oh, how do you have so much money?" I don't know. Why are you on TV? Why are you flying around jet planes? Like, why are you flying on jet planes? That's a good question I would like to have. Why are you on jet planes? Live trading trader TV.
Another one here today. Not a heck of a lot holding up. I'm looking for something that actually is showing some signs of strength that I wouldn't want to obviously look to short pops.
Are you on like 1 minute? Are you like on 1 minute things again?
I just took it off the
to make your graphic
level.
all,
I know that's relatively weak. There's got to be something out there that is showing some signs of strength. I haven't found anything just yet, but I am open to that notion. One other name out there. I know we've talked about some of those small cap names at time to time.
What is your C3AI? Is your Harvard debate?
This is also putting in a big reversal. This has a lot of room at $20 if it continues to flush. If C3AI goes another 10%, it's now filling in the gap. 20 is a long on C3AI. I just want to get that one out of the way. It's still $2 away, but if we get a big market flush, do not sleep on how good of a long that's been. Since, of course, like short seller report, bounced off 20 even. You guys know the story. I'd get into that if we get another $2 to the downside. But I'm short Micron. I mean, it started in above 64.
Down, guys. He's going to tell you another story.
One showing all kinds of strength so
all
far
you have
this
to do is
morning.
manipulate it $2
Pharmaceuticals
down.
Up on this. SVB raising to outperform from market perform with a $35 price target on this one. Just straight higher so far. 11% for ARWR.
Oh, NVIDIA.
Yeah, I was looking at some names here as well, man. As we continue to crash a little bit lower, we've been getting some good outs on Apple, man. We just got a 160.92 right there. And look where we're long. We're long at 160.66. So that was a nice little take up there. We got actually a couple outs on the high side there. So, Neil was mentioning a little bit there as well about grabbing.
Because they know if you get on television,
like when you're in there and either you're long or you're short, whatever you are, make sure that you've got this trade on board because that's going to be a tough one to hold out, especially on these longs. As you're just testing 13,000 again, the Nasdaq came right in to 13,000 and bounced. So yeah, surprised? Nah, not really. But it would be nice to see if we can get a good hold on that number. So that's kind of what we're looking for here. With Apple would be a nice little hold of this level. See if 13,000 can do that. Back down to 160 was a pretty key level for me on Apple. So that's one that I'm going to wait for. Apple short, or long 160, but hold out for this long. See if we can get some more going. Google looks like it's just I don't know, like a mistake or not. But right now, Google's not doing a whole heck of a lot again for me. So we'll wait to see. Again, what Google's going to do, we just picked something up there at 70. We went to 90 again, but this is a name that we want to hold out for. Look at Meta. Meta's really started to move more aggressively than the market there, but it dropped down to 212. 212.80 before bouncing. So that's that's pretty low.
Wow.
On the 3-minute chart, you could have respected this 213, and now you'd be in the money 60 cents. But again, it's about picking some bottoms on strong games.
He's going to be in the money. He's going back to Mali.
Probably was worth the
money. Yeah, it's just so far away from the level that I like.
It's running around, friggin'
if you have the level wrong, just get out and then try to reassess. Like that's the best you can do in a situation like that. So I'm looking for things that had relative strength. Intel had actually held green for most of this move, but on the 15-minute, I can show you what 32 looks like. But this has been 32.25, and it's been for the last week. It's been supported Intel, and every time it bounces, it's managed to get to 33. I saw it, grabbed it. I got 30s long actually, so wasn't quite able to get it at that 20 level because I caught it late. First scalp out. I'll probably reload this one a few times off this level if I get that opportunity. It's weird, but it's weird to be long Intel and short Micron, but sometimes weird things happen in the market. Usually I'd be like long Intel and short like an NVIDIA or an AMD, but this time Micron's still at those lows. I might have to give up that Micron if it gets above 64.15, but the Intel long should make up for it, to be sure. And I was saying NVIDIA, but then Intel looked a little bit better on that bottom. Brendo?
We mentioned the airlines briefly there in the pre-market if you were with us. American downside again. Another alert at day lows, if you missed it, forecasting weaker than expected quarterly profits. So big spike down there through 13.50, now 6% for AAL.
Wow,
say 6% for.
We did talk about that earlier. We didn't.
Wow, because I was talking about that level to the downside. It might already be there. Oh my goodness. So I do end up getting. This is the thing. Like Intel, relatively strong. I'm like, I like it better. I take NVIDIA anyways in front of 67, and it bounces $1. I get it on the way back. So I take Intel first, that bounces, get a small win there, and then I take NVIDIA on the way back in, and immediately challenges out. I don't like having an even dollar stop, but I just instantly took out half when it made an even dollar stop. If I'm going to hold through and give it an extra 30 cents, I don't want to do it for a full load. Not when I'm already long Intel. Not when I only have one short position.
They got some books at the library and stuff. And they're like, yeah, make money. That's not the purpose of a day trader. This is why people hate that term.
You got to catch it the first time when it makes that bounce. It was worth $1 if you just strike when the iron is hot, but that's about it. When the market is this weak, you get that one chance off of a good level sometimes.
Yeah, we're making money on these graphs.
You come in there a second time and you might get burned. I'm going to get to those. Like, wow, that was fast.
Which is why that
still holding Intel because it's held the bottom. But quite frankly, we might have missed an opportunity. I dismissed the airlines, thinking AAL had to actually make it to a key level to be worth it.
Well, to be in a room with these guys.
There we go. But AAL is pretty much at that bottom on the daily chart. 1340. It's about to break it right now. 1335 technically. So double bottom on the daily on AL. If it wasn't for the market being this weak, I probably would at least attempt to scalp one.
With their relatives like staring at the screens,
I'm not going for it. Once you clear this out, I think you're looking to start to get a short in, but you want to see how it trades underneath that level. First things first. As I said, the only long I should have had in the chips should have been, once I liked Intel more, I should have just stuck with that and not tried NVIDIA. Slapped the fail on that because Intel held the bottom.
We're a community.
And NVIDIA didn't. And as soon as I had it out of my mouth that I liked Intel better, I still took NVIDIA anyways. Because it's like, see setup, take setup, have stop in, and just kind of go with the robot mode and don't worry about it. But in that situation, go with your guts.
We're going war with Kenya.
A little bit stronger.
See, Europe hasn't declared war on an African country.
Just tried Google long, it broke. Just broke just now, 105.50,
You're too far away from
105.40 right now,
people are going back
to
the
downside. As I feel like this market,
you're not having a civil war in this country.
Maybe it's just Google. It could just be. I mean, it's still positive. The market is flat right now. I'm like trying to figure out. I still feel like this move down to 13,000 is what we want to watch out for. So
people running
I'm trying
from
to find
the
the
crimes
long.
they
We've got
committed.
Apple, which has been a great long.
Trying to invade and kill their neighbors, and they get back
right now.
BTFO.
As that's been still working, man. We're still 25 cents in the money. But it's
BOAT,
that Google that's probably. All right, let's try one more time here. And this is not, I'm not trying to like revenge trade this. I just think that the market off of 13,000, if it wants to go back up, this has been a strong name that we know can fly.
GTFO, GTA.
And it's the same logic. So I just want to kind of play it off that bottom that we sort of made there. The bottom of the day is not 104.81. The bottom of the day on Google, I'm just going to look at my other chart here just to make sure. Yeah, so we're coming back in right now. It might just make the bottom again. Breaking through 35 is the bottom. But look what's so strong here, man. Let's take another piece out on on Apple. Wow, this name just going to the high side here and Google going the other way. So we definitely have a wrong name in Google, but a right name in Apple. So far so good there. But maybe we should be in Meta, something strong. I like what you're talking about with Intel there as well. If something's going to be strong, we got to be in this, especially if you're bouncing off 13,000. Just wrong name there. Maybe it's Softy, but it's definitely not Google so far or Amazon.
So here's what I should have done. Like just to go over what I was talking about before. Like what I should have done is any risk that I wanted to put on, notional wise in NVIDIA, I should have just added to Intel. But that's the real play because what held the low on that move? Like on the retest of the bottom, if something held a higher low, then it's worthy of a long. And if it didn't, you maybe don't like it. Like look at Microsoft here. Higher low just got held. That's a little bit strong. That's relative strength. Same thing with. I'm assuming that's exactly what Apple did. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw.
He needs a paycheck. He's one of the best. He can carry an entire franchise on his back, man.
Manny, you're absolutely right about this. We're gonna get to Brennan in just 2 seconds here. But PayPal is up 2.5% above that 75 marker. I know it's got huge resistance at 76, but you still have $1 to get to 76. Look at the daily chart when you watch this. If you wouldn't take it out at 76. Pay yourself out at 76, and make sure you're zooming out and looking at that daily. But good catch there, Manny, as we go to Brendan.
It seems to be focused on GFAI today, guys. But remember, 1.1 million share float on this one. As far as AI stocks are concerned, this one on a bit of a move, to say the least. Through that last level this morning, right out of the gate there, that 21.90, 22 area.
Said, well, that's not important. What it is, you short it.
At new highs.
That's a short right there.
Wow, Block is getting smoked today, actually.
Block is getting blocked out of the wins today. I mean, I don't know. Like right now, we're back into Google. It just went into the 60s there. We're able to get something out. Remember, we're long 44 again. Like, it's just frustrating because like nothing is really breaking long, and it's kind of just relaxing on the short side of things, man. It's been a short day. I mean, check out the NASDAQ. It's fallen down. We did bounce off of 13, but we didn't even get that far, like to initiate sort of some shorts. 13,037 is where we just bounced off of, right? So I don't know, man. I mean, I'm trying to hold out hope that some of these can rip, but here I am again, getting some out at 61 again on Google as it just came back up into the 60s. So just trying to get some out. We got some more out on Apple as that's trying to go as well.
We're trying to get money out.
If the market doesn't go, the market doesn't go, and there's nothing we can do. So right now we're going to wait on that GFAI.
If you have an option out there,
maybe that is the Lambo. Right now,
hopefully
24 and change.
Options.
Wow, this name, what a beast. And thanks, Brendan, for bringing this to us. But I just remember, when I was here even last week,
as long as I get a break,
now you're up to 23, 24, 25.
I'm just kidding.
Still going on GFAI.
I know that's going to be. I don't care about this channel.
Guard Force, of course, AI.
I'll make a new one.
The upside broke through that 21 and says no thank you to everybody else.
Short, straight upside.
You missed the boat on this one.
Not really. They have a good archive.
23,
history videos.
I mean, chasing it up here, because 25 is always a psychological level, especially when it's breaking away from the 15. I would stay away from chasing it. If it's going to go again, then you can always look for the dip. And I think the dip makes sense to the previous high. That's 22. So like Sean said, 22 and a half makes sense.
Workout?
Only Intel. I know we got out of our short trades, and I know that kind of sucked because they were the ones to hold on to. But Intel held the bottom. I had my 15-minute up. It couldn't get to 32.50 just there. So I have 70% of it out right now. I'm looking for a reload off the bottom. It's the only thing that's held support. Shinobi saying AMD ready to rock.
Well, he's successful.
I don't know that I want to look at a different chip name other than the only one that worked for me so far. I mean, the short was good on Micron early. I think I'll wait for a better pop to try and get back into this. I mean, AMD's not at a level I love. I know where I'm wrong on Intel. Right at that 3220 low. AMD, I think 91 is the level on AMD. So it probably needs to get down there, and then I'd be go zone for AMD. CCL I know was down, and I've been looking at this, but looking for some names. I've been sticking to tech because that's what I did all my prep for, was on the tech name. But CCL back through $10. I guess in some sympathy in the travel space there, as we are going to. Oh yeah, that's sorry. No, my bad, Fahad. Just give me a quick second there. So we're going over some of the travel names back underneath that 10 level, but it's still inside the range on CCL. But that is a bit of a reversal link
I have black guys I like.
Definitely
hang out and joke around, but I don't have any best friends.
We'll see what happens, but I don't want to force any longs. It has to be at least an A+ setup. Microsoft looks strong if I can get a dip there. I know Pinduoduo is a name I want to get more shares in the short. I don't want to force things by adding something like a CCL, which I didn't know prep work for. And look at PDD, actually still rolling over and not catching a bid just yet.
Okay. Look. We're still in the same names here, looking to get some more. Maybe Uber short 31s. That DraftKings that we were talking about today,
how do you know you're
obviously
trading
has
Uber?
fallen back into that 1880
do you know these,
level
like,
that we
things,
wrote
they just
down.
take the names so
right
like,
now, we don't have any trades on for it
how
yet.
How do you know? I was
but this 1880 coming in right there.
And like you type in like these little
1855,
market things,
something like that coming
like
in for
tokens,
DraftKings.
like
So that could be a little long potential there. Let's check out Palantir quickly, as well as. I mean, right now I'm still. Apple, I'm still
you're looking for a product.
So
it's like putting it's like writing Adidas on a freaking thing.
Name, so far, but
store.
Apple and Google both trying to come in a little bit. Palantir again to 850. This is down 1%. They're all coming in. I'm just getting all these warnings because we're all at these 50 levels. So that's 850 for PLTR, 1850 for DraftKings. Nice little fallback in again from these guys. But there comes Google right back to the day's low. We're not going to be here for very long, especially if this does break. So watch out here for Google trying to take out some of these levels. It's got to make sure that we have the stop orders in around this 105, basically a 105 flat break, something like that, coming in for. I mean, we're a little bit light on this.
Yeah, see, Google's
trade for Google,
responsible for YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I really, really want to wait for that 105, 104.50,
when you're on board of directors,
so that could be something
they're
that we
buy
just wind up waiting for, but I don't want to have on a huge loser by the time it comes to that level. So still a little work to do here with Google.
Yeah, and actually you mentioned stops, and I was talking about this yesterday with reference to stops, like how important they are to have them. Having a tight stop and having a way out is just the way that we work. And as a day trader on a prop floor, it's an advantage when you have something like Day Trade the World, where you have a stop level. You've definitely got a risk manager as well. It's something that we've been trying to expand upon, at least Day Trade the World has, and we talked about this yesterday with the campus program. So I just want to shout out to anybody that might be in Canada. If you are in Canada, you are eligible for the Day Trade the World campus promo. It is going to be a free program. You get to learn the markets on this trading platform with the ability to eventually become a funded trader. Again, it is flexible with the student schedule, so if you are in school, that's what it's all about. You can eventually become a funded trader, but you must be in Canada. So if you're looking for a start, I think we have, there it is, just scan the QR code below.
If you're not in
I think
Canada,
it's a fantastic opportunity. Sean and I started out,
if you're not in
we
Canada,
opened the floor and only hired students.
What he's
so
talking
actually
about
something
is
that means something to us on a personal level.
How
because
big
some of
of
the
a
best
crime
traders
is?
that
I
we
don't know
did
what he's
find
talking about.
were in school when they started out. So we're glad to be able to bring that to you. Let's get over to Brennan as the market's trying to bounce here. Let's go.
I've got some information for you, man, to help your investigation. See, I've been
hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock, we did get that BOC rate decision as expected. 4.5 pause once again. So a hold from the Bank of Canada there, 4.5 on interest rates. The bigger decision or bigger event going to come later in the day down here. Fed's daily first off, and then we get at 12 o'clock, and then we get the FOMC meeting minutes to come still later this afternoon at 2 o'clock. We'll bring that to you as it happens. That's the way the board looks right now. 0.37 to the upside for the S&P. Dow about 0.5% in positive territory. All three Russell nicely green here as well, including the 2000 there leading once again. 0.5%. The Nasdaq Composite and the 100 both back to the upside. If you missed it at 8:30, consumer prices did rise moderately, 0.2 and 0.4 on the year-over-year or the month-over-month numbers, I should say, but that was in line with expectations. Overall, 5% versus 5.1 expected, topping expectations to the downside. So moving in the right direction. We had Tesla on the watch list this morning, top of the watch list, in fact. Up here, 191, but straight downside, but still holding up a little bit better than the overall market. 0.6, guys, for Tesla. Back over to you.
Tesla or stressless. So thankfully, we're getting at least a little bit of a bounce here, but let's not think we're powering up too much. I mean, the futures have bounced like 30, 40 handles off the bottom. Like, we're right at, like, I'm back at VWAP on Intel. It's like, okay, that 32.5 that we couldn't get past, better ring the register on some of this, because if we roll back over, we could be in some trouble again. So still a bit of a downward trend in the market. This has held up. At least we found something that bounced off a bottom. I'm talking, Coin didn't bounce off the bottom. Meta didn't bounce off the level I wanted. Microsoft didn't work either, just down the line. Whereas the two shorts I like Micron and PDD, I'm back in a short, by the way, on PDD at 68, but I'm at the low of the day. And I'm risking 20 cents into 68.20, so scalp into the low. If it gets to VWAP, that's probably going to be a separate trade there. So just going to try to work the trend in pin, duo. C3AI I know was weak, but I'm waiting until it gets to 20. I still think there's going to be a long there. NVIDIA made a bounce. I picked my bones over in Intel. I like that one a little bit better. Tesla, as I said, got to have yourself a stop. It got beneath that 70. We got out. You have to. Now it's trying to bounce off 187. Not a bad little zone there. That's where we broke out from. So this could be a level on Tesla emerging. I was waiting for Alibaba to settle down at the open. It's settled down now and made 95 its bottom, not 98. So Pinduoduo, Baba, I chose Pinduoduo. I guess you could have had either one of those shorts, looking pretty good. And this is the 50 period on Alibaba down at 96. So this worked yesterday. We waited for the flush and then just started going long in the consolidation. That gives you 95.5. So longs underneath 96. If they play the same game as yesterday, which worked, and then work that up for that dollar worth of a range. Sometimes Baba has a tendency to repeat itself. If that happens today, long 95, 75 into 95 half, and then just scalp it for the afternoon until it falls asleep at about 2 o'clock.
All right, I don't know.
Awesome.
I mean, we held, so it's okay. Yeah, we made back some money here. As Google now coming back up to the upside. So we said that we wanted to hold this. We did get some out, obviously, down there at 104.50. We talked about that. It was not a very good long early for Google, but we tend to do this to ourselves every day. And so we talked about getting better and better and better at this. And then the one thing we do have right now that's been a one-trade banger right here off the sticky note. You know, it's on here at 160, and this is like really the only name that we were pretty patient with today was Apple. Everything else we got in way too early, but Apple's been holding out for these highs. I mean, this was 945. I shouldn't say, you know, we got into this one too early or anything like that. 945 isn't super early or super late either, but it's really working to the upside, man. Apple continues to rock and roll, so this is making my day right now. Otherwise, it would be a complete disaster. As we shorted Amazon early, and that didn't work, and then we got out, then we went long, and that, like I said, you know, just a back and forth a little bit. And then the stock that we probably had too many shares in too early was Meta. But again, you know, in and out of that one without too much worry, but you know, it still said napa to us on that long, as that was not a work trade for us, and then it comes down to 213, and that is really where it should have been bought. Obviously, you know, a lot of this trading today for me is going to be hindsight, because we had a lot of these longs, but we just didn't really respect them enough to hold them, because again, watching out for that 13,000 on the NASDAQ was very, very, it could have been an ominous break. Like if I was still long everything, like if I'm long Meta at 214 and it takes 13,000, then it's at 210. The same thing for everything, Google, all of this. So it is nice to be able to make this money back, and I'm super happy for it right now, but we don't have the bottom picks that really I'm used to grabbing at these levels. And I mean, even AMD is coming back to 93 here. And I know people in the chat were like, oh, AMD's getting ready to rock and roll, and it did. So good call on that one. We still have some better longs, I feel like, in the spot right now. 80 cents in the money on Apple, and now 40 cents in the money on Google. But this was $1 plus from the bottom. So AMD, yeah, definitely looking like it's a nice little long there.
Oh, yeah, it's a nice bounce. I'm actually monitoring that one as we speak, because, look, I'm in a chip name right now, so if that punches through, I think that actually probably helps drag Intel to the upside. I just got to fill up
You can open other stock markets.
Glance over and it's like, oh, what just happened? Yeah, Pinduoduo just kind of got back into the low, so I took some out in front of that bottom. This is at least trending to the downside. Even if the market's popping, this will happen with the Chinese ADRs. Sometimes it's good to have names or ideas out there that can be a little bit aside from what the market might be doing, so your levels and your theories will hold up. Even if you get a rug pull like this or a monster bounce, it's not going to matter too much. And I think that's going to be the case with PDD. That's why I was looking at one of the Chinese ADRs. This PayPal, by the way, shout out to everyone in the chat that's on this. Just remember, like that 76 is, I mean, it was a huge fail yesterday, so I know you want to ring the register there. I still think the trend here cannot be ignored, and the 75 is the buy zone. I have my 15-minute up to remind myself it's 75, it's 75 I want. I don't want to chase this. Higher time frame prevents me from chasing too far. A lot of times, if you're focused on if I'm focused on the 3-minute, I should say, then I tend to chase things, tend to get too aggressive. But if you put that 15-minute up and trade off of it, then I wait for my levels a little bit more patiently. That's where I found Intel. That's where I've been monitoring Pinduoduo, and that's why I think 75 is the entry point for PayPal there. Again, it looks pretty decent on the on the 3-minute as well, but that's going to be the case. You can find confirmation on that short term. And just to go back over to Stressla, It looks like it's going to roll back over. 187 was a good buy previously. That's the only price I would look for a defense on Tesla, that 187 level.
That's
as far as
Elon's
Ford goes, I think I just missed my opportunity to short it, but it is coming back into the upside. Were it to get back to 13, then I'll put the short on. But I don't want to chase this. The fills to me are 13 and above. For the short trade, that is the setup I wanted. I can stick with Pinduoduo and wait patiently for Micron to pop as well. I know you got that Apple one in there, but finding those kernels of strength, PayPal is definitely one of them. I'm going to look for a few others that we can find that held up well. Because the market got back to the high. I like the chances of something that has a big breakout zone above, which gives you clear runway. If you buy a dip in PayPal 75 and it takes out 76, you're not caught with the decision of having to long that top, which I never want to do. Well, not never, but I prefer not to do.
Yeah, Tesla, that 187 was a good trade.
Yeah,
I mean, we've got a lot of good trades on board right now, man. We're long Apple right now, $1 right now, as the cash cow is back in the building right now with Apple. So that's going to be a good long now, $1. Like we said, now Google 30 cents and kind of struggling a little bit. My best out for Google was 80s, 79s. So right where it is right now, we only now have 40% of that trade on, and we're actually doing pretty good. We still have 30% of Apple on, as that's can come up to the upside. We've just been taking little pieces out and trying to hold on to it, but we're getting right back into some levels of concern. And look what just happened, man. Good one right there. We'll say, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Because we just broke 13.1 again on the NASDAQ, and now you're trying to go back upside right there. Though the name that for me that has the most runway is going to be Meta, but look at that bottom, double bottom there at 213. Definitely should have been taken in that 214 break. I mean, coulda, woulda, shoulda, but that was a number right there. And then we're going to go to Brandon in a second. I just want to look at Tesla, because down here to 187, the market's picked up. This is still positive today. I feel like any dips down into 187 is probably a good little look there as well. I'm going to take one more piece out from Google, because we're right at the highest spot we've been at here for me today, back up to 80. So we'll got some 79s out there, actually. Right there, nice move upside. Brendo, what's going on over there?
Nice 2-day move, guys, for crypto back to the upside. This one not really doing much today, but MSTR down about 0.5% so far on the daily chart, looking pretty good though. MicroStrategy, obviously, just saw this pop up. Kind of interesting. 4.2 billion worth of Bitcoin, guys, now green once again for MicroStrategy, back above 30,000.
So I'm glad Tisha mentioned this one, because GFAI rejected 25, right back to that 22.5 level. So this is kind of that spot. Like, if it can hold here, you make another run. Don't go long off the top, wait for a consolidation, but it looks pretty weak. It's lower highs through. I almost think you want it to break 2250, run some stops, and then if it gets back and reclaims a level, look for the long there. This is looking pretty weak right now. I don't know that I want to jump on the bid of this up 39% and just kind of let it run you over. Let it run those stops and then see if it comes back and starts holding it again. That looks a little bit better to me, at least as far as GFAI goes. There it goes. I actually just ran the stop right now, so good you didn't take the long.
Yeah, good look there as we look to look at some other names. AAL down 8%, or sorry, down 7% right now and still going. Just a quick update, man. I could not take this out. It was an official dollar right there for Apple. So again, I'm kind of mad because the Google trade took a while to develop, and we lost on Meta, which sucks because now Meta's $1.50 in the money, but it's not over yet. So let's just wait to see. We are now getting lighter and lighter and lighter as some of this move is not really extending through 13 here, right? So 13.1 just had a break spot there. So I feel like we're going to get another piece out on Google if we're able to. Up here, I just put a 67 offer. Let's go to 64. There we go. We got a 64 there. We're also at 67. And then also for Apple, we got a grade out there. I'm going to take one more out at 64 if we can get it. And then now we're pretty light. And I actually, if we're going to fail that 13, I'm looking right now at Meta right now. If we're going to fail off that 13.1, I'm looking for Meta short, to be honest with you. That made its move all the way back. We just wicked high at 215 right there on the 1 minute, 215.25. I think we can go short using that as our out. So right now at 215. Does the market want to go down, though? I mean, that's really the whole question right now. All right, let's start small. We'll put it, there it is. Now we've got it small right now at 214.15, 214 flat. to 14.96 against 215.15. That was that high right there as we try to figure out what levels we're talking about. Just looking at too many names. That's 215.30. Okay, so we'll start the trade right now. It's about a third of our position. It's like that first spot that we had right there at this exact same level that we had the first time. We're now going to try it short. So let's see. As long as this market does fail right now, if it goes back up to the upside, we obviously do not want this. So this is going to be a quick out for us, man. Like 215.50, we're out of meta. So 215.50 right there, we're going to be out of meta. We're just trying to play off this fail right here. Let's see if we don't. I mean, it's not failing. It's above the 50 period, but let's just see what it wants to do at 13.1. Now it's bouncing back up to the upside, so we'll see. Still in the money on this, but we're going to give it to 215.50 on Meta, and just watching out for our other names, right? We still got Apple, still $1 in the money. We just took some more out. We're now trying to go buy a short. I don't know, though. What's your positions? Your long...
So, look, I'm actually on the offer trying to get Mike back into the short on Micron, because it feels like this could be the turn in the market, and if it is, I know Tyson? I like Micron short, but I did take that GFAI, so it ran the stops at 22.50, got down to 22.20, then immediately the bid reemerged, stacked up at 22.5, I got it at 69, that's just the price that was on the offer, nothing to read into there. It broke back above 23, I scalped some out, and 1-to-1 to the low, and now I'm just sitting in it, so sometimes you just want to not stand in front of the level. Effectively the same thing. It held 22, but wait till it runs some stops, get some people out of the long, and then jump back into it. It still might not work out. Like I said, I only scalped a third of it out. It could still turn into a bit of a loser, but I just prefer that entry instead of just sitting there and letting it run you over the first time. Let the buyers show back up at that level, and then you feel a little bit better at it. Yeah, there goes Micron back through that 63 area. We had the big short off the morning, and then just got out way too early on it, but look at this around VWAP. I tried it at 63 before, and then realized, no, you want it off that VWAP. The next pop, I'll try to get it. I might wet my beak at 63, but the money fills are above 63. So as I say, wet my beak. I want to be in position on this to the short side, but the money fills are going to be above 63 for me. As it pops up, I want to work into the short on Micron. We know this one was a bit of a dog off 64. Now let's see if it can be one off 63. To add to my pin duo short as well. And GFAI, I don't think should follow the market, but it could rug pull at any moment. Always have a stop on one of those types of names.
All right, so we'll take 20 cents quickly. Let's do a little quick bang on that as our nets just keeps going up. So that's why we're doing this right now, as there's a little quick trade. We got it at 20% of meta. That's it. I'm just noticing like it came back into VWAP, which unfortunately we bounced off there now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So, like, I didn't want to take it, but it just came down. We bounced off there 3 times. So the first 2 candles that I had this bounced off the same spot. So we do take a piece out. Now we're going to see about going lower on this move. And look, man, all of the outs, and by the way, and this call, not to sort of, but we talked about waiting to get out of some of our longs and then going back into the short back there. Now 50 cents in the money for Meta, as that's going to continue to print a little bit lower. Wow, okay. Let's just put a bid out. I was waiting at 35. Let's just take a 45, man, if we can get that right now. We'll take 50 clean cents, or more than that. There it is right there. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Yo, what up, Kat?
Hola. Like and subscribe today.
All right, what's going on to everybody there, man? Thank you so much for the talk in the chat for these shorts. And that's just what we're talking about, man. There's the meta. We get that little bit of a revenge now as we're holding this short. Look, this is 215. This is 214. This is 214.50. So we're losing about 50 cents there, a little bit less, 50 cents on the big part, and a little bit less on the next part, of course. So we're trying to make a little bit more. So now we're 70 cents in the money. And we just took this 4 minutes ago. So let's see if it can make a little bit of money here as we go to the downside right now. And this is why we cashed out of Google, man. I told you we were getting up here. We wanted to go short. So now we're very, very light in Google. And we only have 10% left, which we also discussed with getting out of Apple on the high side. So far, so good. Let's just see if we can make Meta sing a little bit here to the downside as we've broken below. Let's see 13.1 if it wants to hold now that we're below it.
So the thing about, let it sing. You want it to be a good rhythm, though. You want it to be we want a nice song. We want a nice song. We want a nice trend. That's what you want to see. Like, it's 10:20. Usually at this time, you kind of figured out where the trend is going to be. It feels like it's a bit of a downward trend. So, Micron to the short side just got into it and just got some out at the low of the day. Make sure you're paying yourself and ring that Reggie. But GFAI is on the run again. It just broke 23.5. Obviously a 22.5 break. It was a fail break to the downside. Maybe it trapped some shorts. I think it got some longs out. Probably not trapping any shorts. But if it doesn't break 25 even, then I've got my outs inside of the range. If it takes out 25, I think you can just look for separate trades above there. I want the scalp trade. If you're only risking, I'm only risking 45 to 50 cents. I'm going to take that bub, and I'm going to take that $2 if it gets up to the high of the day on GFAI. So glad to ring the register there. And from this small cap to the small cap recap at the desk with Brennan.
Guys, yeah, when the market is in play, few little ones to discuss, but there are a couple moving around today. Let's talk about a few here. HTCR, hardcore up on this note, it would appear this morning anyways, new IPO services listing for them. So HTCR, 62%, kind of just chopping around here. We got above $2 briefly if you go back in the pre-market, flushed off the open back below 150. So on a retest right now of that 150 level, but still up significantly. 62% for HTCR. There was this one as well. CYTO, positive phase 2 data for one of their treatments being worked on. 52% still to the upside, but coming into significant levels over the past couple of days. These came into play as well, 250 as well. On this one, significant on the daily chart. You go all the way back to March and February. We're into big-time resistance for CYTO. Yeah, I left GFAI on here because we got above that level. Recent highs anyway, still kind of contending with these levels from back in February for Guard Force AI. And I left BBAI on here just to show you the fact that it's not participating. Some of the other AI stocks not playing along, but GFAI having quite the day, guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, this happens, man. Like, when one AI name goes, the other ones, basically everyone just kind of gives up on them and the action's somewhere else. So, I would not be looking for the C3AI long. That being said, look, if GFAI were to flush, which it might be doing, let me go to that now. I was going to talk about PDD. But if GFAI flushes and retakes that low, I've already turned it into something that can't be a loss, but I was looking for the scalp trade. Kind of look inside the flag. If it breaks out, then we look for another long. If that gets through 22 and starts flushing, maybe AI catches a bid. That could be something worth watching, but I'm on this one for now. I'm going to go back to Pinduo Duo. It got to the bottom, or at least close to the bottom. Now it's right back at that 68. So above 68, I'm going to look for some fills into the short side. Micron, a very similar thing. Shorted it in. It got to the low of the day. Now I want the money fills above 63 this time. Bit of a double bottom put in. I didn't get my Intel bid. I'm sitting at 24, always sit in front of the quarter, not behind it. So I'm sitting at 24 off that 20 bottom. Yeah, it bounces at 26. I literally had this conversation with Fahad yesterday, and we're talking about when you're doing like scalp trades, sometimes you want to be in front of the obvious level. So instead of bidding 19, you bid like 21. Instead of bidding 24 like I just did, you bid 25 or 26, not 25. Should have been bidding 26. I'll correct that now. But another run to VWAP, I think, incoming for Intel. I just missed that little bit of a dip buy, but this has been my chip name that managed to hold up. Oh no, I wasn't bidding
buy
Tesla
before
87.
You tell people to buy.
Did you get you get 87
sell
on
before
Tesla?
You tell people to sell.
No, I was watching.
You don't want to look. You don't want to look. To the I missed Intel by like 2 cents, and that's a $32 stock. Tesla goes to 187 on a dime. That goes right to the level. To 187.03 it just went to. You just got to be out there. So I'm just going to get like a 12 bid on Tesla for the next time it comes down here. You know what's going to happen? The next time it goes to 87, it's going to run through. That's why I'm going to wait closer to that 87 mark. GFAI, now it's back up on the bid. I want that one breaking up to 24.5. But yeah, we missed that chance on Tesla 187. Darn it, that was a good level, man.
Yeah, I know, and that's that's the frustrating part. We talked about it and then we missed it. So that's okay that we miss it. I mean, our names have come back up, man. I mean, Apple, we were happy getting out of it there. It was like, okay, now it just fell back down, but it came right back up, so where we're even higher than where we were in the first place. So for me, awesome. We'll take it. Our net is actually at the same spot. Why? Because as Meta goes down, so does my Google and my Apple, but then Meta just comes right back up. So I'm kind of like just sitting on my hands right now, not doing a whole heck of a lot. You know which name continues to be? I mean, I was visiting, my nieces and nephews, and everybody's all about Roblox, obviously, as it continues to go. And Roblox today, again, flat on the day, but trying to hold out that nice 45. Look at this. Beautiful move on the daily chart. I mean, all these keeps making higher lows as you keep coming up through here, now up to $48 and looking to take out some key levels right there as well through 48. But we've bounced off there pretty tight all the way back in, and then look at this bottom here, 45.50. Again, right into yesterday's bottom. Like, these are some of the levels that we need to look at as we continue to trade here, man. Maybe I'm going to have to go over, check out some anchored VWAPs, go back a couple of days and things like that. Talk to Michael Noss about all that again here today, as he was here on Thursday or Friday, and I haven't been able to get back at him on that when he talked about it before. But there it is. I don't have the reloaded thing, but we'll see. We'll just hit this because we did reload Meta. Let's take it out again for another 20 cents. So we'll take it out again right there at 75. So there's another piece out on Meta. Now let's see if it wants to fade out one more time back to the downside. I'm going to take advantage of this move on Google, get it out at 58 if we can, because again, I have more shares now on Meta than I do the other two names. So if Meta wants to go to the downside, thank you very much, and that would be very great. And then there it is, another out right there. There it is right there on Google, as we just got that out at 60. So another spot there for Google that I'm looking at. So far so good here on this Meta short. And there goes Meta. Yes, sir. 50 cents. We just reloaded this. So you guys that are saying, like, start to trade a little bit more, there it is right there, man. We've got the trades on. We're long Apple, we're long Google, and there's another short, 50 cents in the money on Meta. But you can only trade if there's trades available.
Yeah, I don't know who's saying that, but GFAI just did a hell of a head fake. It head faked at the high of the day. I got out. When is $2 not good? When it head fakes you at that high and then goes into a potential. It looked like it was about to halt. It obviously did not above that 25 level. I threw a bid in there if it was going to do that rejection and do the whipsaw action. It's now cleared out to 25. No halts in sight for GFAI. So congrats if you took it. You couldn't have lost. But certainly this one is off to the races now. The 25 is probably that dip. I don't know why. It was crazy. Like, it looked like it was going into a halt and then kind of did one of those head fakes. So let's see how far this one can go. Congrats if you still got this one. It's an absolute runner. Forget about C3AI. Oh, and by the way, I mean, if the short's back at the low of the day, PDD, that short's working. Oh, wait a minute. Where's my bid? So I thought I had a bid at the low of the day on Tesla. I did not. And I thought I had a bid just now on PDD at the low of the day to get filled, and I did not. So I think... Remember that issue we were having? I think I had a couple of cancels in there that are a little bit weird. So either way, I'm going to get the low of the day in a second on Pinduo Duo. Tesla's coming back to said 187 level. This time we're going to pick it up. Yeah, I'm just going to, whatever. I'm going to wet my beak in the 30s, and then my other bid will just be sitting down there at like 12s, as I said. But that level is pretty decent until it's not. Still some shorts on. Micron is still at the money. I'm not getting any fills above 63. We'll wait until we can get them. But here comes GFAI back in. If it's a big flush and goes into a down halt, I don't want to have any bids out there. But I do want that opportunity to take advantage of any kind of a dip and a pullback in that name. It just got my fill in Pinduo Duo, so there are shorts that are working. We're still at the low of the day here. It has been arrows down in a consistent downward trend. Now rolling over off 68 into 67.5. I'm still short 68s, and I will short the next pop until this stops working. This and I want to say Alibaba have been relatively weak, holding the bottom. I don't know what other shorts are valid down here outside of, to me, Micron and Baba. And where's my Tesla fill? I think it bounced off me again.
Yeah, the market is just trying to figure itself out right now. So I don't... Oh man, you know a name that we talked about in the
pre-market. You mean other traders? The market, other traders you're finding out what's going on.
That name right now just bounced off. Close, like to some of these levels that we're talking about down here, that 110, 108. We just bounced off 112, which was the bottom there. Now up to 113.77. So that's not a bad little bounce. I mean, everything right now is bouncing. So, to look at something and say it bounced would not be a surprise at all. But that's a little level there for AMD.
You aren't at that level of looking at I don't even know what they are.
So you're always looking for like those levels that held during some of the chaos that has ensued here in this market. I'm going to go one more short here. We've made money on this Meta short. It just keeps coming back and averaging in. So right now we're only going to average this in, and we could wind up losing on this final position average. 215.50 if it does take it out. The market wants to go back up to the moving upside. Man, we're just taking out right now 13.1.
How many others?
Stood in front of it. It didn't tank down. It went down as much as 10
They're like
which is not that much. Now you're already up 17. You just went up 20 handles.
They just have like
then the
Cheese
move
with
up
like
is 20. So yeah, the market is getting, seems to be getting a little more aggressive to the longs right now. I mean, our Apple trade is really celebrating itself to the upside right now. Right back to day's high for Apple, which is unbelievable. Forget about the CPI level, but Apple all the way back to 162 off of this 160.50 long. So this one off that bottom just was patient. The only name that we were really patient with here today, like for Google, we started buying like early, but it looks like to be right now. Okay, now goes Meta. So now everything's starting to go back up to the upside a little bit here. So let's watch out for Meta right now. Starting to go. Nice move. Oops, that's the chart. Nice move to the upside here. If we break 215, we're out. And that looks like it's about to happen right now. So that's okay. We have all of our orders. It's not okay to lose, but if it does rip upside, we are still watching our other positions. But right now, Meta, we're short now at 12. So it looks like
they took it off. Anyway, he had a spike. That was done before because that was a high frequency trade. That was a high trade.
A couple of things here. One, got in and out of Bob really quick. That 95.50,
they had to shut down the stock
market. So we got 63 in and out super, super fast. And also GFAI just hit $28 in reverse. So be careful with this. It just made a pretty big reversal.
Mega Memory by Quick Down. Well, that's I didn't use Mega Memory. I just remember
because I had to study for a long time and memorize facts. That was a huge retracement just now on GFAI. Yeah, I got out too early. Sometimes $2 is not enough. That's just the truth with these names. Should have held on to some for the dream. The one time you don't is the time that it goes. Let's go to Brendan for the crypto update.
Shut down Australia. Australian Rare seeks action on hyper.
Hey guys, just quickly, we also got the weekly oil inventories number out there at 10:30. Yeah, smaller build, tiny build actually, 597,000.
We'll look at because this is they use the same software
versus a forecast of a draw.
It's just what is this 1 million
draw.
You're allowed to buy from.
A little bit of a build versus a little bit of a draw for crude oil. Otherwise, we're still looking at a decently positive couple of days here for crypto. I'll show you the charts here in a second, but a lot of people still discussing this upgrade that's coming through for Ethereum this week.
Shutdown technical failure, faulty trading
essentially just explaining the fact that the ratio going to get a little bit deeper between, or the disconnect going to get a little bit deeper between Ethereum and Bitcoin, with more obviously available. This is a 15-minute chart of Bitcoin. We had the spike on the number this morning. We get all the way up here to 30,500, but pull back underway. Did retest 30,000 on the initial move back to the downside. Bit of a bounce right now, but back into this chop again. This is a 15-minute chart. But if you zoom out a little bit, that was the big breakout that happened overnight a couple of days ago. Ethereum, on the other hand, yeah, nice look here. Back to that high, or testing that high right now.
Remember that thing in non-compete? I complain about
for
that.
Ethereum, still positive.
You can't work in the same industry for 5 years. It seems very unfair.
For BTC, 30,171. Bit of a mixed board right now, guys, for crypto markets.
Putting a bunch of put a bunch of secret information.
10:30 already.
There's government secret information.
To go, man. Yeah, wow, mixed board. Yeah, crypto.
But corporations also.
CPI, we've seen gold make some moves.
Especially if they work get there under a government contract.
So it makes sense to get some strength
there.
When
it comes down to
like Coinbase.
Is that Hobson in the
these guys have talked about Coinbase a lot. As we continue to watch that with Walmart today. Walmart's closing a bunch of stores. I saw yesterday.
He's got a terminal. Hey Dawson, how's it going?
I forget the name of the company. It's going to kill me now because the company that's doing their automation in the warehouses was up like 8 or 9% in the pre-market. And I wasn't familiar with them. I'll double check the name and maybe get it out to you guys if you're interested in it. But a couple of things. Micron got some fills above 63.
There'd be no way you'd be on a secret mission and working the stock market.
Now we're low of the day, baby. Oh, we're breaking. Tesla just broke the low as well. The shorts are starting to print. Oh my goodness. The life comes at you fast sometimes. So the shorts just roll over really fast. I got a reload on Intel, but we just broke that 87 level on Tesla, and I just got 30-cent slippage. 30 pennies. That's the slippage sucks.
Meta just dropped 40 cents.
Yeah, falling off the side of the mountain.
When these names want to rip or tank, there is absolutely
imagine being chased by Vikings.
Right there.
Imagine like a bunch of Vikings are chasing axes and shit. You come to a cliff. What are you going to do, boy?
That's Barkin on CNBC right now. Remember, this was supposed to come across at 9 o'clock this morning, but Fed Barkin, just be aware, making some comments on CNBC right now.
You're going to switch over so we can see?
Broke. It was like $1 down on Tesla. I'll go to Intel first because, quite frankly, all the shorts are good and Intel's at support, and that could come into play. 32.20 is going to be my last out. Candy's now 80 pennies in the money. Micron just absolutely flushed. through the low as well. So your shorts are back to printing. That's how it happens. Life comes at you quick, and the market goes to the downside today a little faster than it goes up. The only good buys were like, obviously, look, 830 was a good one, and then you had just that little bounce off those lows, and now we're back to trending in to said downside. This does mean not the way I wanted to get this 75 on PayPal, but about the only stock I'm looking at that's above VWAP that isn't GFAI is PayPal, and it's there right now. So I'm long at 10s. It'll be a scalp trade because I don't think I'm giving it past 74.90, but PayPal, one of the only names really holding up to the top side of the market here.
Let's go smash them, Gregory, because what we're doing right now is smashing this meta trade to the downside right now. We just talked about this just in front of you guys, that we just reloaded this meta trade, and we were almost stopped out. So like Neil said, man, I mean, this market is here, and then it's not, and then it's here again. So, try to respect some of these levels as we continue to trade here today. And they've been pretty good levels, guys. But the NASDAQ, again, 13.1. I mean, I'm just talking about, like, it being relatively, not necessarily an easy trade, but like when you bounce off 13.1 like that, it just gives you a reason to sort of be short. So that's why we are. Now we can wait to see back down here at 13.030 there. What's up to Dan Emmons and everybody talking in the chat there? That's not a good story there. We are certainly past, okay, well, Barkin right now says we are past peak inflation. Okay, that seems obvious.
But, I mean, we knew that.
Yeah, the guy looks down at CPI and says that. I mean, that's obvious. I definitely see demand cooling, so that could be it right there. Still a ways to go. Lots of stuff happening right now. We are now $1 plus right now in the money as we'll go, oh my God, as there's Meta. Wow, we are really barbecuing this market up today. Good trading so far, man. I hope you're enjoying the show, as there it is, like, good shorts, good longs, everything. Definitely got out of our Apple there. We talked about only holding 10% of both of these names as Google comes right back in again to another key level. I'm just going to get out, man. Where's my out on this? I'm not even buying anymore. 25, which is the bottom of the day there. I mean, this might be worth testing again. Some of these lows. We're already short, man. We're already $1.20 now in the money on Meta. So I think we'll just hold this and see where we go from here.
Yeah, I mean, once 87 was gone on Tesla, the floodgates absolutely opened up. It was like gates of hell, and then just everybody enter, do pass go this time because he broke that level of the downside. So the shorts, we know all about it. I still have Micron. I'll never live down the fact that we gave up the 64 short so early, but everything is flushing. There is, at least, if you're looking for something bullish, you can only go long. GFAI, don't chase it. It's now pulling back, but it's held 25. So if you're looking for a sign of strength out there, I mean, that 20 cents on PayPal, I was in and out pretty darn quick because that did not hold up at all. We might be bouncing off 185 on Tesla. I might want to take that one out off 85, but 25, good level for GFAI. I'd look to this the same way that 22.5 was. Like, if it can kind of test that level, give a psych out, and then consolidate off here, you look for the long and the next move to the upside. But that's the way I play it. Play it the same way, only with these, sometimes get away from your range trading. $2 is good, but hold some for the dream. I know it's a weird thing to say, but on that type of a name, maybe not everywhere else, but on the GFAI type, hold on to something for that dream. Here's 185 on Tesla. I think I'm going to look for the exit here. I definitely know I want to hold PDD and Micron because those were shorts I wanted all day, but Tesla 185, that's too big of a level not to play off of this, and just take the money on run on a $2 breakdown.
All right, guys. I mean, what a great short there. I mean, Meta just went to 214 flat. This is $1.40 now in the money. We're short at 215.30. So right now $1.30. We just took it out, so we'll take that out as well. And then our Google, we tried it, didn't hold it. That's fine. We're still waiting for that 104.50 level down. I mean, Google's been fine. Obviously, we took some out. We made some money back. We've done quite well making money back on that move, and then now putting Meta back into the pocket as well, right there. This is what we're looking at for Google. This 105.50 area is what I'm going to try to look at. So that's 104.70. I'm just going to put a bid there now. I mean, I don't know. I just don't want to miss it in case it does come in. So that's 104.75 or so right here for Google in case that comes in. I just want to see these levels. We did wick down here to 104.25. So yeah, I'm going to have to take a hit if we get back in there, but that's one thing that I'm willing to do. 105, 104.50. Yeah, okay. So we'll just wait for it. If it fills up, we'll see it fill, and then the rest, like Phil Mickelson, 52-year-old. What a round there, 65. The best round for someone over the age of 50 in Masters history.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing how he's playing. Yeah. Plus, he's doing that all carrying around $600 million in his back pocket from Liv.
That's heavy.
So that's a lot there. Yeah, I had 650. I got rid of 50. So now 6 is a little bit. I'm trying to just do my best Phil Mickelson impersonation right there. But nice move down here. Here comes Google, man. Google's coming into 105 right now and still making that low. As soon as we took out the days low on that was a little bit of a scary thought there. So we pull the shoot on that name and wait for a little bit lower. The low might come in, man, and then we might just get out of it again. So yeah, everyone want to go long right now. Shout out to HG right here. We'll talk about this. Someone needs help. What's up, D. Westermeyer there? You've got a decent position, it looks like, on... We got to go to Brendan in a second. We got a decent position here on Baba.
Oh, yeah, that's swing short.
Don't want to become a bag holder? Well, the only way to do that is to get out. We'll look at Alibaba when you come back. Well, it's true. It's 102 right now for Baba. We'll look at that when we get back from Brendo.
Yeah. Wait. What's true? That I'm over at his dad's house?
I'll give you an update here on the S&P 500. After all that, we are essentially back to flat
Japanese,
for the S&P anyways. 0.10 in the green right now. There is actually a lot of green on this board, but enough red offsetting, obviously, including, the airlines jumping off the page here. AAL was the one that came out with, if you missed it, revised forecast to the downside for the remainder of the year. So all of these being dragged down with it. 8% right now for AAL, UAL, 6%. Love, Dow, and Alaska, all 3+ to the downside. So that alone kind of offsetting some of the other positivity from the industrial group today, but capital goods and commercial goods both still in positive territory. Pharmaceutical names and healthcare equipment makers positive as well, despite a few names in here that are red on the day. Tech also green, despite, NVIDIA 1.4, downside QCOM 1%, AMAT, LRCX, few other semiconductors offsetting a few that are positive, including Enphase and SEDG. Software names doing enough, though, to offset that, along with hardware equipment makers back to the upside. So tech positive, consumer discretionary negative. Remember, 2 days in a row now for CarMax, downside, KMX, pretty ugly couple of days. PayPal as well, 2.4%. Nice look for PayPal in the financial services group of the banking sector. But overall, this group kind of flat. Real estate, material stocks, and utilities positive. There's that note on Dish this morning. Dan Loeb apparently involved. Match as well, 2.9% to the downside. CHTR, Paramount, and WBD all red. So communication services, a bit of a problem. Consumer discretionary, I should say, a bit of a problem. And these airlines a problem. Otherwise, that number would have been a lot higher. 0.18 right now for the S&P, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much, Brent. I'm also going to get the breadth of the market. We focus on a lot of, obviously, you guys know we focus on tech, right? Like every stock that we've been in has been tech, GFAI, or Chinese ADR. I'm pretty sure. At least I don't think anyone's trading anything else. So, Mr. Westermeyer, Sean already said it, but adhere to your stop. If you made a swing trade, then you had it out. And I don't know if it was the 50 periods here now at 95. I guess that's a reasonable stop area just beneath there. Or I would have thought maybe that 98, 97 and a half, but lower high at that 102, and I guess you're looking for the breakout there on the long side of the trade, adhere to your stop. Have one before you came in, and don't try to get too cute about it. I know it's bouncing off 95 now for a day trade, but I wouldn't just say, I'm going to make that one up and throw it in after and say that this is where you got to get out. To me, that would be a natural stop for a swing long, but a 98 would have been a more natural one in there, or at least 97 and a half. That's what we talked about this morning. And my bias is clear. I kind of feel these are rolling over. That's been my 2 cents. But I like Pinduoduo was a weaker name. I think that Baba is at least relatively strong, but that's not saying too much. So, adhere to your stop. Don't get cute with a swing trade. It's the same thing as day trading. You're out as you're out. And sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. I'll show you an example of a bad one. My out on Tesla just now was the 85. I thought we were bouncing off that level. I guess we're not. Tesla's still going to the downside. I still got my Micron and my Pinduoduo, but that 187 breakdown, that was pretty quick to get to the 185 level, which is why I thought we'd get a little bit of a rubber band bounce. I did get wicked out on Intel. It immediately reestablished 3220. I got back in at 23. An ode to the GOAT there. you don't know who that is, I don't know what to tell you. But it just bounced that first 10 cents and it reversed. So, I don't know if this is going to hold up one more time here on Intel through that low, but my out is going to be said low of the day. Market is definitely in a reversal. I'm holding on for dear life on Micron. It's trying to bounce off 62.5. We're short at 63. My gut is telling me that if it does not hold this level, why wouldn't we be at 61 or 61.5 on Micron? This is the move that I was looking for yesterday on Micron, which was all the way from 64 to 61.5 to 62. Today, we might be getting it if this market cannot hold the bottom.
Okay. So I made a little bit of a keystroke error on Micron or on Meta. I wanted to get out if we broke this 214.50, but unfortunately I put the wrong price in and just punched out of a little bit there. So we're only holding now 25% of this Meta trade. Tried to hold a little bit more there. So yeah, I still think we can break through 214. We're still below. We still want to go short on everything right now. Neil's right. Yesterday, Fod said, I have Palantir in my home. The only thing
it's he fought Palantir and Peloton.
Yeah,
he mixed them up. So
this is we got in trouble from Prad because Prad got me this hat, which I only wore once, I think, on the show, and then I wore it.
No, you wore it more than once. It was
maybe more than once, but then I also wore it to the zoo. That one day. That was like the day or two after he got to me. But here, Palantir investor, shout out to Prad who's behind us. I've heard him a couple times already today. Yeah, I'll put this somewhere. I'll figure out a place to put this afterwards. But there it is, the Palantir hat. So anybody wondering about that one right there. Okay, what's up? Yeah, we already talked about that. You're welcome, Jose Mercado. There's a smooth little $20. Neil's talked about GFAI and BFRG Bullfrog today. Crazy for the show.
Ribbit.
So yeah, nice moves today on all these names. So congratulations if anybody's been having this. AMC is flying, I just saw someone say.
Oh, hell no, it's not. Really?
Let's see. 560. 563.
It won't break these 60s.
Yeah, not doing much there. It is flying. I mean, we talked about that 550. Yeah. It's just not flying today. It's had some nice moves, man. Look at that. I mean, I take time off, come back. It's the same story, man. We talked about this this $4 level, 380, 370, whatever that is. That was the bottom once again, 370 up to 560 right now. So I'd say you win. Now, GTFO, in my opinion on this one, but you guys can do whatever you want with AMC, but it's a nice win already, upside. If you're going to hold out for more, then obviously you know more happening that I don't, and I don't know anything, so you can wait out for that one. But I just feel like a lot of these names, man, Bed Bath & Beyond, hopefully these guys can survive, and it looks like, they definitely have a bottom down there. So if you're in this name, great. Where's the high? 660, 650, something like that I could see back into there. So you're already a little bit there. So I think congratulations to anybody that's been on this name, and just keep moving forward with it. It looks like a good name for you. Back up to the upside there with that. Meta looks like it wants to go. And our Shopify, the one name that we were looking to go short, I still think AMD.
Did it get there?
Yeah, it got there easily this morning. I mean, we canceled it. When we saw Shopify was really super strong, I was like, nah, I don't want that 48. It just ripped up early, so we got out of the way. It looks like 49 is going to be that new top, but it also did get back to 48 right there before dropping. It looks like anything is a solid bottom for Shopify at 47. So if there's any trade there, it's probably a long, not a short there for Shopify. So that's Microsoft 285. A trade there. You talked about Alibaba already. That's down 5%. Yeah. I said to Alibaba earlier, guys, it was just like, we'll have to look at Neo because that was the one name that I didn't really trade yet, today that I looked at that I really did like. I was talking about this earlier in the pre-market, man. When Alibaba was up here near this 101, 102 area, this is the high. Like, it got up here on great news. Like that they were splitting and that they were spinning off some of their companies and unleashing some value that perhaps wasn't there before. But that only got up to 103, 104, and then it came back in. So you got to break some of these levels. For me, I mean, I think at 98, I think we can get back to 98. I mean, it's just been a nasty move down today. The market was up 1% and then it's just come back in. So yeah, where Alibaba started the day, 98. I still think that was a pretty key level, man. That would have been a good out. I think we could get back to that. So I'd look to short Alibaba if we can get back into that area. And then I just continue to hold out for Meta. And then the Apple long, man, that's what a dream that's been. 106.80. If any dip down there, we should have rebought strength on Apple. And then Google's still hanging out on the low side of things as well. With PayPal back to 75, I know we talked about that. XOM also 116, another level of concern for people as we bounced off 116 a couple times. Mullen 11 cents.
So I'm glad we got that super chat from Jose because I forgot all about BFRG. Obviously, we talked to GFAI, but yeah, Bullfrog making a strong move today. Look, you want to have, especially when we come to the afternoon. If you get a sideways afternoon, you want some of these that can be in your back pocket for some breakouts and some trends to the upside, where you have something to play off of. Lunchtime as well. That $5 level looking pretty good. I'm smirking because every time I see Bullfrog, all I can think of is MC Froggy Frog and. Okay, so nobody's gonna know who MC Froggy Frog is, but if you know, Nine was a rapper, and he was kind of like a disciple of like Redman and some of the other he was like Low T, some of the Wu-Tang guys, way back in the 90s and early 2000s as well. And there was a guy, MC Froggy Frog, and he was legit. He would say ribbit all the time in one of his verses. So every time I see Bullfrog, I'm thinking of MC Froggy Frog. He was legit. It was kind of a gimmick at the time, but he had some game. If $5 holds, I think you have a chance to still break out. GFAI is long gone. Like the monster home run, all that nonsense might have already happened, but this through $6 still has a bit of a chance when you look at the daily chart. And if you get through 6, hello, you remember what happened last time we broke the $6 level here? Yeah, it was $9 incoming. So if you hold 5 out in the afternoon, I think we have a decent chance. Your volume's kind of dying right now, but if you hold that 5, I think it looks pretty good. Just a quick update, I will take at least 3 swings at Intel until this level breaks. That's 32.20. It did wick me out. When it wicks me out, I jump back in. On the move back into VWAP. So we're right now 2 for 3 on Intel, and I will keep trying this level because it's been a good one. If we go to Fred.
Follow through, guys. Downside move continues here for the dollar at this point, coming off that CPI claim this morning. If you missed it again, a little better than expected. Moving in the right direction, anyways. 5% versus 5.1. A legit number there. That has a 0.6% decline in play right now for the DXY. Back to 101.5. We've been talking about this 102 area. Which is basically that support. This is an hourly chart, by the way. 102 was support going back the past couple of days. We're solidly below that now, so everything on here pretty much back to the upside, including the euro. 0.7%.
Hey, Tom.
Today.
Hey, Father Anderson. I want to talk to you about exorcisms.
Early on.
If you believe that possessions by demons is possible.
$74.3 off that Bank of Canada interest rate decision as well. Again, holding once again two decisions.
I mean, 90,000 is all you need to just live on your houseboat in Portland.
BOC 124.6
just on the houseboat, being loving everybody,
back to the upside. Everything pretty much
preaching
positive.
Peace and love throughout
BTC
the world.
Slipping back into the red there on the 12-hour 1.84 Ethereum on that upgrade. But yeah, downside flush here, big time for the dollar.
That's the man who took Deborah home. You took Deborah home from the band, right?
Hit him like this, hit him like that, hit him with the real, let him know how you feel. That's the joint. That is the joint. Like, if you've never heard Nine, he was legit for a little bit. You know when you have that raspy voice, but you don't suck like Ja Rule? Think about that. Like, that's someone that raps with the rasp, but it isn't hot garbage. But I don't like Ja. Okay, fine.
What's your opinion on Ja Rule?
Yeah.
Sometimes you speak your mind. It's like I'm probably a little bit harsh.
Who's Ja Rule?
I respect.
Yeah,
his success.
should I be worried about him? I'm in country. I don't know rappers.
Like, to each their own. Sometimes I'll be a little bit harsh because I'm just being honest. I've never been a fan of Ja Rule.
Ja Ashanti song there.
No, there were some danceable hits, man. I'm not trying to be totally a hater, but that's just it is who I am. I like what I like.
Hater, but
I like what I like, man. So that's just me. If you like Ja Rule, more credit to you. He's not my dog, man.
Not your dog? No. Get at me, dog.
DMX. I mean, DMX and Ja, like, what are we even talking about? What are we talking about? 7 minutes to go. Tesla, this is not good for Tesla. It's not good for Tesla right now.
Hashtag Neil-splaining. Yeah, that's a good Neil-splaining.
Yeah, it is, man. What am I going to say?
Yeah. Okay, right now, the only thing that we're mansplaining right now. Oh, by the way, my wife, look, she messaged me this morning. Yesterday we had burgers, so you go out. I just make my own burgers. So we went and, got the ground and everything like that. And here I am, take my ring off, make the patty, blah, blah, blah. Both my wife and my daughter both had Portobello Swiss. So I didn't make that. We bought those, the veggie style.
That's how you do it, man.
Portobello Swiss. So I'm here making my own burgers, and I forgot the ring. So about 10 minutes into my drive into work, she's like, oh, okay, so now, she's going to come into the chat and tell everybody that, I'm not wearing my ring and this and that. I was like, okay. But I think she's out doing...
shows respect for the ring that you take it off when you're getting your hands dirty.
Exactly. No, she's fine with it. It was just a joke. But, so I told her I'd mentioned it on the show, so shout out there. I'm a little bit... less weight today because I'm not wearing the ring. So that's what that is. But yeah, let's go, man. Yeah, burgers are costing a fortune right now, Adam. But it's all good. I threw down again. I didn't have if I got a new barbecue, I'm going to throw that down. But I haven't set it up yet because it's not gas. So I have to. It was propane. So I got to get the fit in.
And propane accessories.
Propane accessories? What is that from?
Propane and
Chappelle?
No, it's from what's his face? With Boomhauer and
I don't know.
You know it. King of the Hill, man.
Oh, King of the Hill. I didn't watch King of the Hill that much.
Oh, for real?
For real.
Okay.
For real. Like I haven't watched Rick and Morty. I know King of the Hill is different than Rick and Morty.
Propane and propane accessories. That's
I still had it on the cast iron. Cast iron skillet, so we did that yesterday, but
that's delicious.
Yeah, no ring today, so King of the Hill's animated, yeah.
I think it might be the same animators that did it, maybe. I don't know for sure though.
All right, so let's go, guys. King of the Hill, fantastic show. Yes, we do like that around here. I still haven't seen too many of the newer South Parks, but okay. So here goes Meta right now. We're banging out for that as we'll talk a little bit about our culinary delights. But there it is, move down for Meta. Still making a move. As there goes Google as well, downside. I don't know. I'm gonna get out of the way of this Google trade, man. I don't need this trade anymore. We're gonna watch out. Meta right now is $1.50. Right now, ring the damn alarm on that one. Google right now downside, Meta downside right now, $1.70 now in the money. Here comes Google into that level, 105.50 again, coming for Google right there. This is the level that we're talking about. So I'm going to try to buy it against that bottom, 104.32, but the market is in trouble right now. Good move down for Meta, man. Let's see if we can I'm going to target 213.30, so we're almost there.
Yeah, and we're fresh lows at 67. Intel just took the bottom again. Like, I'm getting out. I'm not holding it past that low. I might take a third swing at it, but it has to hold that 32. PDD, haven't really taken any more out because I want to see 67 break. So 69, so 70 level, 69 we shorted 68 into the 67 level. So pretty much every dollar we're making those decisions. Micron's pretty much at the low of the day. Tesla's the one that's absolutely plunging to the downside. It is a flush style day. I mean, we haven't really looked at the futures, but you guys know what's going on because the shorts are in. I got out of my queues at the time thinking, okay, it'll be a dip after we get to yesterday's highs, and then we'll look for dip buys. That just did not work. Instead, it was a wick top and a rug pull. So the shorts are pretty much in at this point. If you got them, hold them. No one ever went broke taking profit, so I do advocate make sure you take some profit on the way down. But next stop, 13,000 test, and remember, the last couple of sessions, we have broken 13,000, but it's held the general area. So that 13,000 is kind of an area. It's gone 50 points down and held 2 days in a row. Can it do so a third? We're about to find out this afternoon, almost for sure. But yeah, pay yourself out on those shorts. Oh yeah, GFAI, by the way, it's now through 25. So I was looking for a consolidation long on GFAI in this range. It broke 25 even. If it can consolidate here, I'll look for a second move on GFAI. And this time I will hold on. If I get it, I will hold on to something for the dream, which clearly I did not the first time through on the GFAI win.
Yeah, so we were waiting for 36s there. It got to 43 on Meta, so we missed out on $1.80. We'll see if we can get it back there a little bit. But we did get, and I don't know where it is, so we'll just say diamond hands a little bit because we waited for Apple to come down, and it fell right into that 160.80 level that we talked about again. There's the level right there, so it came back in, so we take the long on Apple. We just got it at 83. Whether or not it works out, it's only 10 cents in the money now, so we'll see if it does have a chance to get back anywhere near there. I am going to take a meta fill at 50 again if we can come back in, so it looks like it's going to do that one more time. And then if we can wait for the bottom, like I said, we still have 30% of this trade on, or a little bit more, so hopefully this name will fall back, and we'll see about Meta coming into this 213.20. if we can get 213 lower, even that'd be even better. Obviously, on a breakthrough 213, our Apple trade will be in a little bit of trouble. I'm just waiting for Apple to 160.50. We've identified.
I'm just chatting along.
We're already in a fantastic short, man.
Sacramento. We're famous because they had like Tour de France, right?
Twice,
Lance Armstrong.
Four times.
Bikes were so valuable. I mean, bikes are getting stolen. The black market for bikes. Lance Armstrong had his bike stolen. Lance Armstrong, the Tour de France.
Give me that bid right now, man. We're at 51.
My brother, you should see my brother. He worked so hard to get a bicycle. He's responsible. He knew he had too much alcohol in the drive. He knew he was responsible.
Congratulations, anybody that's
so he'd bike to the, and he couldn't even have a bicycle. They would just steal bicycles. I bought my other brother a Goodwill bicycle, and he stole that.
Just one
it's
more
like it's basically anything that lets you get away from them.
And we'll take this
I mean anything that's I don't know.
If it can,
it's an obsession.
Look where we just bounced clean
it's like there's an obsession for stealing just for the sake of stealing. Stealing to ruin your life.
6, something like that. There, so 5 handles.
I don't know.
13,000.
Go ask.
And I bet you
go ask our South Africans like
Hellman. Let's wait to see if we get it first.
Oh, they're Africans, white or black. They seem to have a thing. If they're from Africa, these Soodlanders. Oh, these Soodlanders are horrible. The Boers. Or is it the English? I don't know.
Early on Meta,
see, the thing about South Africa is that their concentration is a genocide. It was the English killing the Dutch. The other Africans were just like...
And one last thing.
There goes Meta.
In the chat, someone just asked, we are trading equity. We trade equity here. We do have a room to trade the futures, but we're not options traders at all. We're only trading the equities. So if you see us trading a stock, it is trading direct equity, a day trade the world. Oh, here's the bounce on GFAI. I'm going to get this GFAI consolidation here. It's time to go to the midday show.
See Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? He's wanting to get his one friend off so they could go, oh, they're blowing up the world for no reason. He day traded it with Galactic Empire.
On the ones and twos as well with Sharif the Professor.
It's his thrice day for Obi Trice. Nice. Saying he's got to turn on his mic and then we'll throw it over there. So we did pick an Apple long up there off the bottom.
You're gonna turn my mic on, guys?
But hey, man, for Neil and I, for Fahad, for Mahad, for Brendan, that's the first show as we get ready to go over.
Cool. I'm finally gonna be like
the big guys
other than in your room.
That one from Sharif because he always calls us the big show, but these guys are where it's at. So let's go over now to Obi.
The Big Show?
The Big
I heard he put his arm on top of a table. That's how big the Big Show is.
Midday show. That's Obi, aka Obi Trice. I'm Sharif. We are at an inflection point right now on the market.
You know the Great Khalil?
You heard Arun mention that this morning, and 13,000.
Oh yes. All the stories of just the red-haired giants just eating, just picking up little mans and eating them.
On the dot low.
Well, when you take away people's paycheck,
we have a 13,500 and a quarter. Sorry, 5, not 500.
Neanderthals.
On the NQ.
When there's no food around,
here. I know you were showing me something there on your chart. You said this is pretty obvious. The trend is, in your words, down and to the right. So I know you're getting set up there. So
yeah, Mike and Tony.
Yeah, no, I'm playing by that, obviously.
Yeah, Mike and Tony.
So right now we are making that test. Let's see where we end up going. We are at near day's low on Meta. Likewise with Microsoft, we're below decidedly on Google and Tesla. We're near day's low on Apple, but decidedly below on Amazon. So a bit of a mixed bag here. Still seeing what is going to go down as we are at these levels. But in the meantime, while the market decides what it wants to do, small cappers, yes, they're back. When Max is back, we're going to have to make some sort of official declaration. But small cap season is back, baby, even though with CPI and usually the big tech names are on watch. You've got GCTK going up and to the right. It took the elevator, not the escalator, my friends.
Is a guy who, when I had a good day, because he was getting everybody into crypto. He was a big Tron pusher. Not this guy.
And you move up big boy. That's a nice 35 penny winner,
he's not him, because this guy's obviously
not a white Jewish person. Neil called that out several times in the morning. Look at this.
He's getting all the best advice.
To the high side
man,
on GFAI now, though.
I couldn't do one because I didn't have exchange that could buy it. So I got the Doge. And when Doge I walked in the aisle, everybody's trying to make money. And he's like, oh, you made millions yesterday. It's like,
today's
whoa.
been an interesting day. We had
he just shouted out millions. I didn't cash out. It crashed after that. But he's been telling everybody, he's like, you made millions because he's following your investments. He shouts it out. He shouts out what you have to people.
Tape on Amazon. Let's talk about.
He gets excited.
I guess we can start off with.
He's excited for how successful people do it. You did! Look how we have millions of dollars.
So I traded TQQs on CPI. Let's see.
You have those.
Okay, so
you have that gap tooth.
This is the initial long.
Very recognizable gap tooth. Kind of like.
Let me make this a little bigger here.
Yes, Michael Strahan has that gap tooth.
Bit of a reaction time thing.
The crazy-haired Cornell University professor.
So I did miss a couple fills down here,
Abdul Jamal.
Nothing lost.
Of the movement.
Not too much FOMO, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the reversion or take the other side of the trade when it does show itself. It did start to slow down into this 2780 area. I had planned initially to like hold it down into 27s for like a decent retracement, but like what do you call it? I didn't really like the bids that were going on around 2730s. And I just gave it to that. Nothing too crazy, but like as you can see, the move was there. It followed through, and then it gave you more than $1 off those tops, and it's still continuing to go with the rest of the market, right? So we know that 13K is definitely a key area on NQ, and we know that 4100 is something we're watching on ES.
They can do the job without us.
So definitely coming in for that.
The amount of times you have to come back and then help them enough, and then train them enough.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda, held, but that's fine.
It's independent learning.
I moved over to Amazon, closer to the open.
There it is, a new low.
Yeah, we're still making new lows. So like,
do you know why?
I'm not sitting short right now, but if I was, I'll be looking for others to cover, right? So on Amazon, we had some pre-market lows. There's some bids that came in. But not as convincing. This tape was super crazy. Like I have not seen tape like this on Amazon I can't remember. It literally was teleporting 20, 30, 40 cents. Like this was VWAP around here, and it just blasted like 40, 50 cents. I tried to get out. See, these are initiated some longs off of those buyers. I tried to get out into the 30s and 40s, missed the fills, and then rips right back down. And I was like, oh damn! Now I got to manage this position. Didn't get out where I should have, but like I still waited for it to kind of come down. I know 99 is an area of interest from a couple of days ago. Bidders came in, got a little long with them, but like again, respecting the trend. I know that like I'm wrong on the long here, right? And so I want to be reserved when it does come back into the 100 test. I just took it there, and time to reassess, right? Didn't have the 100 short, but we're looking at this 99, 98 area. Now, Amazon does have an ATR of close to 3, and it's done pretty much almost its full ATR on the day. So, like, I will be looking for that slowdown if and when it comes.
Yeah, it's market
forces. If not,
forces.
Then
I know it's
we'd have to reassess there.
I know it's a pretty boring thing.
The frequency coming in with a prediction. He said, "Happy Dump Day."
Wow.
And is it just coincidental that it's Hump Day?
Maybe.
Is it
Maybe. You think that's what's adding to the selling pressure?
Is this seriously Wednesday?
Maybe.
I don't.
Yeah, it is.
We did make a new low on the ES. That is 41.28 and a half.
Monday I had
we're having trouble really breaking down with any vigor. It's kind of an escalator stair step down.
Last night I had a restaurant.
I'm looking at the big tech names. Because I've also got my eye on that 13,000 NASDAQ level. We're at 13,004 and a quarter. So again, just made a new low on that, but not with any real decided vigor.
Yeah,
so
take your money that you say that you need to live off of and put it in a thing that you lose a password.
I don't know. We'll see.
just put your money online. Sign on to a new thing that's in. Get your money. Transfer your money onto an online thing, and then when you look at it later on, you'll be rich.
That it did last time.
Because as long as you have numbers on your freaking phone,
is this an interesting entry area? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to enter a corner position here.
And if you can't get it out, you're still rich. You just
break.
You still have a way to pay for things.
Consolidation. This is baby position for me, so it's not going to be a big deal. Let's go ahead and set up some.
Who has that baby?
Some.
Oh, you had a baby.
Resting orders there. We'll sit at 70s for continuation.
That's why she's crying. That's why she's crying. She found out all the other babies you have.
A longer
and you
period
can't support
of
them. And she was good. She wanted to marry somebody else, but he was poor.
And here we go right into that 50 area, so I may have to get out. And I do.
Oh, your 24-year-old stripper girlfriend.
That's not good.
Your 24-year-old stripper
that
girlfriend?
That was real bad slippage there.
That's
even
the
though
thing
it's
about
only a 2-penny spread.
See, Sarah, these are the guys. These are guys I tell you about.
There because here we go. We get bought up on
these are guys I learned when he was like
so
go lose his mind. 55-year-old man.
Really playing around with this one.
She's cheating on me. She's a 24-year-old stripper, dude. You're 55 years old. Well, I look really good for 55.
What is this market doing now? We are decidedly to the downside. OB 41, 25, 41, 23. It is big boy on for the shorts.
I'm using that
so that is interesting. We do get a decided break of that 41.37, 41.36.5. That was the close on the ES. Now we are well over. We
like gambling. We don't like
points
beer.
below
We like
that.
gambling.
Already as a new low today, 41.23 and 3/4. OB, the shorts are.
I'm hanging out with Danny. He's teaching me all about the things that are allowed and not allowed.
What was the indicator on TradingView that started?
I'm not allowed to lose money.
Day shows the breadth.
I'm not allowed to lose Saudi
I'm not
money.
Too sure what that was, but I'll bring it up if I remember. Some other names that I have kind of on watch here. I'll pull them up.
Yeah, they have a lot of gold. Now bring me gold. You're going to have to load up your gold and ship it.
We'll pull up this chart.
That's going to take what? Oil and people. Unless you're just going to load your raft up with gold and bring it across.
I'm not too sure about that.
You can send me pictures of your gold.
Yeah, we were talking about it yesterday, apparently.
Okay.
How to transfer gold, how to smuggle gold in.
Later.
If smuggling a
I
freaking little gram of cocaine is so hard.
I don't even use that many indicators to begin with, so like I probably would have remembered.
Not P, he said.
Don't worry.
Not P?
Once it melts it down, we'll make you in a gold suit.
I think we were talking about the Vold
yesterday.
Yes, that's what it was, right? The Vold. But yeah, no, Google, I'm looking at this 105. We did kind of break down below this.
Uday Hussein.
Yesterday's low.
The devil.
So again, looking for it to slow down and trying to catch along. We have kind of pulled back pretty decently off of this reaction off the CPI. But yeah, no, look, this is kind of a key area on Google, this 105 orbit.
Yeah,
before we've blasted off from
I'm the king of hell.
Kind of recycled it a couple times.
I'm your king,
so
Helm.
I'm definitely watching for any bids to start stacking against this trend on Google. Now, you said Vold, right? Yeah, let's pull up the Vold here. So there's NYSE Vold. I'm still like trying to figure this indicator out. I don't know.
Just a general.
I don't know too much about like how it's used effectively.
Right. Suleiman is just a general.
I've been looking at it a little bit closer as of recent. All it is the up volume minus the down volume. So you can have a NASDAQ and the NYSE Vold, right? So you can see every day here.
That's a weird thing.
So
I've looked at those
market,
things. It just disappears.
Is there more buying pressure, or is there more selling pressure on the NASDAQ as a whole? So it's an indicator that shows you that.
And that came up as a result of us talking about advancers and decliners, right?
Advanced decline line, yeah.
Advancing issues and declining issues, and how we were looking at that on the VWAP retracement to kind of look, is it time to go long as a market? Is more money coming in for buys or more money outflowing? So that's how I think we got onto it, just so people understand why we're bringing
You're going to be a single
definitely
father.
Not taking trades.
Yeah, but nothing wrong being a single
solely
father.
Based off of this, but yeah, it could definitely add some confluence to your trading.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so we're watching this position still go down here on the ES. So got that, where did we get in? 41.34. So it's continuing to head down. I've got the next profit taker at 41.22.
Oh, wait a second. I'm sorry. Stefan, look, that guy made himself look just like you. I really don't believe your beard can get that well groomed
all
and
excited back there. We're going to hit a couple of bags.
You never
Bradley,
know.
As, you know how he loves to go short. Shout out to him. There we go. I'm sitting at 41.22s. Let's see if we get filled. I'm seeing 22s and a half come in here on the ES.
My wife, dude.
Good idea watching this.
You say I'm betraying you? Fuck you, motherfucker.
At GFAI as it comes back in above 25. It kind of had 25 as an area of support. It gave that up, and it actually acted as an area of resistance for a period, and now it's above it again. So this is an interesting area here possibly on GFAI. Why is this locked up?
Gather your people and start walking through the
we'll
desert.
Have a look at GFAI,
you know where the desert is?
Well,
Jessica can show you.
I don't know.
She walked through the desert to come to America.
A spready stock, man. 20 pennies.
That's where you
so
will
I think
live.
I'm gonna, as much as I'd like to entertain some of these small cap crappers, I think that the better trade right now is on either a big tech name or on a futures name, because we just got printed here on 41.22s. So there we go, heading to the sell side on the ES. We're 41.30 and a half. That's where we are. Sos asking, did Prad just Lambo? You don't know. I'll have to find out after, baby. We'll give him a couple of bangs though there. A lot of excitement here on the floor. That's why I love being on the trading floor, man. So much excitement.
Are you losing more than 4 billion, Fauzi? Are you losing more than 4 billion, Mike?
GFAI definitely something with a wide spread, but let's take a look at what it's kind of doing today. Like, why is it having such a crazy move? Now, I don't know if
because you're losing money.
If there are any
because your business, because you're trading your own businesses,
catalysts that are
you're trading your own businesses that you work for
today. But just from a technical perspective,
I guess
let's
that's
check
okay.
this out. Like,
but it's funny how all the
had the initial news, right?
It's a PMO investigation from Spiker. Who cut a fiber cable? Who knew enough to cut the fiber cable, break the tower, and leave a really critical place where people could smuggle stuff in and out unguarded?
And there's it doesn't continue to break down. You have another wipe up. Maybe there's some news. Like this flow is kind of like accumulating shorts almost, right? Because the short looks pretty juicy. Like this is a small cap, and statistically, a lot of these small caps will go back to or revert to the mean within a few weeks of their
swing,
initial
so you can make 30%
move,
profits
right?
on trades, which is insane.
Shorts, but this is the
blue chips don't do this.
The hot trending sector right now, right? AI. Mm-hmm. So you have a build up, and then all of a sudden, you break that in one fell sweep. Yeah, you can get some parabolic moves off of that. Like, look at that, $20 straight up to 27, and going down to the 1 minute. Like, let's see how clean this was, right? Off that initial break, that $20 hold, right? $20 hold above previous highs. Definitely has some short sweating, and then you rip up, and then you start stair stepping, right? So definitely a bit of squeeze going on this name on GFAI here.
Yeah, definitely. Market finding a bit of a bounce. I mean, we are through lows. So now back on the NQ, we're looking maybe to retrace into 13,000. So, I'm on the ES, but you got to keep your eye on the NQ. There's not that much of a divergence between the two today. We've seen much greater periods of divergence lately with these two. So here we go, back on the ES near our entry. So if this comes up into 30 and a half, I'll be out. That's still 4 points away. But I want to see that 30 level reject, because that's kind of the level we were looking at earlier. The one that Arun called out, I believe, in the pre-market. He said anything, between... I think he actually looked for a different target. He said below 50 and 40, then you're looking at into 25. So I think we've gotten there. I'm going to go back and listen to that, but he said something to that effect. Yeah, we'll see what we got. I mean, I don't have anything else on, Sean. I see you're saying, wow, Meta, are you long or short? Short. 2:15.30 short on Meta. Now we just made a bottom. 2:12.58. And I don't like to, obviously celebrate Meta declines, but it's a great move down on the futures today. I'm not sure what happened there with Barkin on the mic. What was said? I'll have to look through some of my hot news items here and see if we can get any, excerpts of commentary that may have sent this market downside, Obi, because I think once he came on there, Brendo brought that to us and started going down.
Yeah, is he still talking?
I don't see him on there. I see another dude. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's still talking, but we do have that in the watch list, by the way. Now, Brendo sending as part of the watch list every day, like the schedule for that economic release calendar, like whatever is coming out at 8, 9, 10.
बोले गुरुदेव सर श्री आशुतोष महाराज जी की जय, सच्चे दरबार की जय। आदरणीय गुरु भक्तों, हमने अपने गुरुदेव की प्रत्यक्ष उपस्थिति में, चाहे दिल्ली में हो या नूर महल में, बहुत सी गुरु पूजा मनाई है। परंतु सन 2014 में अचानक से हमारे जीवन में एक ऐसा टर्निंग पॉइंट आया जिसे हम कभी नहीं भूल सकते हैं। हम कैसे भूल सकते हैं 28 जनवरी 2014 को जब हमारे गुरुदेव समाधि में गए। जुलाई 2014 में पहली बार गुरु पूजा मनाते हुए हमने अपने मन को समझाया कि जब तक हमारे गुरुदेव समाधि से वापस नहीं आ जाते तब तक हमें उनकी प्रत्यक्ष उपस्थिति के बिना ही गुरु पूजा मनानी होगी। और गुरु भक्तों, यूं ऐसा अपने आप को समझाना तो हमारे लिए बहुत कठिन था, लेकिन फिर भी हमने अपने महाराज जी के मिशन और गुरुदेव के आश्रम में उनकी उपस्थिति को महसूस करते हुए गुरु पूजा मनाई। और इस प्रकार से महाराज जी की प्रत्यक्ष उपस्थिति के बिना गुरु पूजा मनाते हुए हमें 6 वर्ष बीत चुके हैं। दूसरा टर्निंग पॉइंट सन 2020 में हमारे जीवन में आया, जिसके अंतर्गत हम महाराज जी के मिशन और आश्रम के माध्यम से जो उनकी
changing. Oh, well, little things over. What happened? What happened? I thought it was like, oh well. Hey, these programs and the container, the shell containers, the process, the cache, the RAMs. Well, there's a lot of, well, when the microprocessor and firmware and these browsers, well, it's really hard to explain. If you're a mechanic, I mean, the more similar an engine is, you might have to change some valves and settings. But if I give you a Yugo and then a Hemi engine and say, hey, can you replace the engine? Yes. What a good day. What a good day. What a good day to have an obscure channel. See, before it was only people who worked with me could just listen to me and like, ooh, what's he buying now? What's he doing? What's he doing, man? Where's his Tron wallet? The Tron's dead. The developers are dead. Yeah, when they say developers are dead, they literally mean developers are dead. If you're building something that could harm one of their countries, you're dead. This is why you have to raise friggin' ancient ancestors who started the companies, because the shame, the shame, the paternal shame of people are ashamed of their children. They're like, I'm ashamed. And that's why I'm like, that's why people have told me I don't have children. The only child I had was one that I just denied to myself because rubbers and condoms and stuff says that's a birth control. And when women are ovulating, that's when it's just a natural thing. If you haven't seen Palindrome, it's probably a cringe movie, kind of like Customs Battalion, Army, or what were we called? Individual augmentees. Yeah, the individual augmentee program to go do Army jobs. We were doing an Army job. When I was in the Navy, first time around, it was a Navy job because constructions, building bases, building runways. The second time, it was a volunteer, just because it was better than the civilian jobs. And so, because civilian jobs, I had to pay rent and buy my own food. The pay was the same, except I got a group room to live in and a big group dining facility to go eat at. Other than that, anything I spent was on me. So when you get free housing and free food, the rest of your paycheck's a lot more. And no federal taxes. So that was a good opportunity, mathematically. And it wasn't a violent. It was just checking, like people leaving our job. My job was to check bags to make sure they weren't smuggling things out of Iraq. I went there to bring troops home because we were withdrawing. That is why I was there. I went there in 2008 because we were part of a group because we were closing Iraq. See, we were closing Iraq in 2008. Before the elections, we were closing Iraq. See, they came with the promise to close Iraq. We were already doing it. So that was my job. And to keep people from smuggling. You remember that, right, guys? You remember That's why the Master Chiefs, well, they can't know everything. But they're very prideful. Prideful. Military people is one of the places where you can be proud. Because surviving, well, what can I say? Nothing more to be said. Ho 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 ho. La-di-da. La-di-da. I know it's Twitter or TikTok now that the Trump is kind of like understand that TikTok is just a social media platform, no more, no less trustworthy. Well, he has his own, and I think he's maybe who does Truth Social. Oh yeah, he has to trust his advisors. I don't know if the reality is. Well, if the advisors don't want to be seen like giving you advice, like Mike Lindell went into the White House with proof that the election was stolen, but Mike Lindell's not around doing day trading. I don't even see Mike Lindell. He's still trying to sell pillows and stuff, as far as I know. American-made manufacturing, that was his thing. It's like Rubbermaid. There's a story. Well, some people. See, it's like, well, I make fun of Tom Hartman because I like Tom Hartman, because Tom Hartman's me if I was on the radio. Well, you have to explain how well you did other things. Well, I'm smart, and then people come and make me rich and success. Okay, yeah, I'll show you how to do it. Yeah, Tom Hartman just believe. Yeah, well, I repeat a lot of what he said on the radio because his stuff is factually right. He would debate right wingers. He would platform right wingers because they say the conservatives won't have a smart liberal on. They won't debate them. And that's been the thing about Fox News. They have people who are liberal, but they only appear on Fox. I'm the Fox liberal that give you the liberal opinion, and they're kind of, well, Sean Hannity used to be Hannity and Combs was like the sidekick. And one day he made like really good points, and after that he was gone. Because Hannity's the smart one. And so Alan Combs was gone. And then, well, Tom Hartman would have conservatives on. And oftentimes, the audience was left, oh, wow. I would say in debates, it's just as far as, and the debate is like, no, it's a feeling who won. And won. Just making points. And what debate is knocking down another's points and countering it. So the debate never really ends. Until you're just talking along. Then it's a lecture. So debates turn into lectures. They have a debate, and then they talk about it. And after, with the person who keeps talking, well, to the audience who stays with them, they were right. So what's the point? No point. Just I was going to quote him on something. Just factoids. The year I was unemployed, milking after the 2008 crash, trying to find a job that paid more than $12 an hour. Oh wait, I could have gone back to the courts in the basement and spent and be 10 out. Yeah, but I couldn't afford the rent. See, moving downtown so I could walk to the government job, or there are lots of little businesses around there. But well, for some reason, government people who they have their incomes online. If you look at the incomes they have online, they shouldn't be able to live anywhere near where their office. That's why they keep on wanting to have. In theory, they have the bus lines so the poor workers who actually have jobs where rich people live can be bussed in. Well, government workers aren't politicians. They don't write the laws. They just enforce them. Politicians, well, they can have as much money and houses as they want because they don't have job security. They can be voted out. So that's that. That's all. I'll leave this going in the background. I'm going to put headphones on and wash up. Maybe get some boxes. Go spend more money. Yeah, Rubbermaid. That's what I'm going to say. So Mike Lindell is like American patriotic because it's made here in America. Yeah. Oh, we don't want, like John Stossel, one of the most libertarians. There should be no laws except for criminal laws. It's like this libertarian is like, there should be no laws except for my private army, like my private army that I use to when I don't pay workers, I can kill them. And I'm speaking as a John Stossel. I watched it one day. It was a crash, and it was like people who used to make clothes in the South or something. And he went and interviewed. They say that these jobs, nobody really wanted to work these hard jobs and labor jobs, and nobody really wanted, because they were going down. It was a competition. They kept cutting wages and benefits, and so. But right now, if you actually did the math, it would be a good job. So he goes out there, and in John Stossel in 60 Minutes, he's like, oh, the libertarianism, how government's the problem, and he's right. A lot of times he's right, but he was interviewing as far as because it's global libertarianism, and he went and he's like, the American government's the problem. See, when you talk about government, they're talking local government, but he's all for open, like, free trade and no borders. Like, your local government is a problem. And if once everybody in the world has no government and they can just walk everywhere, you're going to be rich. That's his mentality, or fly or whatever. Just people with money. People with money shouldn't have shouldn't have it be taxed and given to the local people. Well, he's interviewed this woman, and we're losing my job. She interviewed people who were like got new jobs, and I was the worst thing ever happened. Now I have a new job, and it's like I make him, and I make twice as much, like 70,000. But this was also when the big thing was get your realtor's license. People who couldn't get jobs because the house flipping was so good, just buy a house and sell it. Buy a low and sell it. It's just what they're doing on here. It's just buy low, sell high. Buy it and sell. Buy, sell. And that's a rule, is whatever you buy, you sell it for more than you bought it for. That's just the thing that's gone in the brain. And that's just when you get into finance as a new fishy. So anyway, he didn't say what the job was. She was so happy with her new job, and I'm like, well, but everybody went into house flipping. That her new job is credit cards. Like the man who married the woman I may or may not have knocked up after I left. See, that was the thing. I just didn't know why I was coming back. And I didn't know how I would come back. Because the apartment was closed. And there's also another thing of like showing my friends that my girlfriend is 8 years younger than me. That was embarrassing. But the older you get, the less shits you give about the appearances. Oh, she was kind of quiet, didn't talk much. She didn't have her college education. You have to marry a girl after she gets college. You want to both be college educated. All these rules of life. See, there's a rule of life religious people have a rule of life. That's what makes them, but they won't change it to be a secular society. In the secular society, apparently the rules of life change. Every time you move, or the rules of life change, and there's somebody there to give you new rules of life. And the only rule of life I have is stay away from me. Don't touch what little I have left. It's a lot to poor people but all these poor people, apparently they put it all up their freaking nose. But you don't care about me because I knew you because I've known you all your life, Alan. I've known you all your life. You keep getting reformed like the stories of Jake the Snake Roberts. So you bring somebody in, and it happens time and time again. So yeah, if you're friggin' putting white powder up your nose, I don't care. I'll give you white powder to put up your nose. Leave. You went through millions. Money. Yeah, that question about the sports players getting $20 million. You have to. I don't remember the math, but it was like if you had a $40,000 a year paycheck, and one of my friends said he would love to go to Iraq for $33,000 a year. He wasn't eligible, and so that's how hard it was for him to get it with all his skills. As a new, yeah. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna go there. But at 40,000, I did math. If you worked 40 years or something, well, let's do it. Let's do it. Calculator. I know it's on here someplace. Okay. We'll do 1 million. 1 million. What is that? Yeah, 1 million divided by, and let's see. Well, you know what? You know, we'll how do I backspace? Well, I'm going to stick with 40,000 a year. 1, 2, 3 equals. Oh, 25 years. If you make $40,000 a year, don't pay any taxes, don't pay any rent. If you save $40,000 a year, 25 years. Sweet. In 25 years, all you have to do is save $40,000 a year. Okay, well, I don't remember what AC is. All these. Okay, how do I clear this? See, I don't have the instructions for this. I used to be able to do it. And then, so you save your $1 million, and after you give your $1 million, then you can pay taxes on it, and you can buy a house and have zero left or something. But you have to get a job that pays more than $40,000 a year. But this is the math. And people can't do math because people don't. The math actually drives people insane. You don't have to get it exactly right to know you're screwed. You want to earn $1 million? You want to earn $1 million? You're not going to do it with a job.
In terms of a general trend, though, on Meta, you have to say lower high, lower
no,
high,
you gotta
lower
get
high,
people to give
lower
you
low,
lots of
lower
money.
low, lower low. So
how do you get people to give you money without working?
It's a downward
and
channel,
lots of money.
If you could say so.
Well, you find a lot of people who are like, "I'm never going to retire. Look, this guy does so well."
For now,
it's not my cup of tea. I wish I'd be better at that.
Yeah, it's definitely possible, is what I'm saying. That not something I'm great at either, but at least you definitely see that it's happening, right?
Anyway, so that's where we're at the moment. I don't have any trades, to be honest with you, at these levels. Let's see what the market decides to do, but I'm not gonna make any guesses at the moment.
Yeah, I'm looking for this consolidation.
I thought you
break.
researched.
We're starting to push
I
up
thought you did
into
your research.
the top of this consolidation here, this 98.80s.
Yeah, I thought you did your research.
Right, yeah, no, nothing too convincing, right? We want to see some of these candles like really start accelerating. And
here,
maybe
I'm going to leave you something.
Here's the thing, though.
I'm
like relative
going
strength and relative weakness you have to be aware of. And Amazon, I think has a beta of like 1.2, so it tends to be a little bit more volatile than the markets. But lately, you can see that like when markets like rip up or rip down, it doesn't necessarily follow along right away, or it doesn't necessarily give the same in the move as per se like Apple or Microsoft, right? So that's something definitely to be aware of, especially in a market where we're kind of chopping around, ranging on a lot of names, and kind of waiting for direction on off this CPI day today, right? What else are you guys looking at?
We're going to send it up to Brendo. He's got the European close.
Okay, sure, yeah. Brendo.
Hey guys, yeah, we'll wrap up the European session here as we tick through 11:30, just waiting for the final prints to come for the indexes. But overall, looking like a positive day here for most
the question
of these,
is,
with a few left.
Well, one of my most Santelli Santini. This is the question for you. You asked if the Pope can be Jewish. You asked me. That's like asking if the Pope. I forget what the question was, and you're that's like asking if the Pope can be Jewish. There's a Jewish convert to Catholicism that was like before Benedict. That they were like they knew that the previous John Paul was going to die, and they were like, "Who's the next Pope?" They were looking at all these old bishops and stuff, and there was Desmond Tutu, and there was like the Jewish guy who was like he was born an Orthodox Jewish person, but there were some big names in there because they wanted a non-Italian Pope. They never had a non-Italian Pope, and they were like, and so these natives float, and so I'm like, you don't. Well, yeah, apparently, I guess not. But then that's denying the conversos.
Because
they say Columbus was a converso. Well, the choice was convert or die.
Green Day.
When the choice is convert to our religion or get out or die.
Those
are three choices.
This is the move that
convert,
I missed.
Leave, or die.
This was actually all-time
so can
lows
the
at
Pope
the time.
be Muslim?
Okay, February 22nd, this was all-time lows, and it got an actual great bounce, but it was almost predictable that it was going to be just a
That's not the question I asked. I asked, can I have rabbis, because that kosher K means it was blessed by a rabbi. You pay a rabbi to bless your food.
And that's what
and I guess it's a blessing, where the halal is like prayers and stuff.
Trend for a
so can I sell both? When you have to get certification, so the believers can come see that so believers come in and look, and it says halal certified, so that Muslims can eat it. It has to be halal certified.
Seem to last longer, maybe
in Western, and so the other one, but we had kosher K, but people have no, it's because we're Judeo-Christian, so the K, kosher K, kosher salt. That's what it means. We see kosher, it means Jewish people are allowed to eat it. When we see halal, it means Muslim people are allowed to eat it. Are those races or religions? Is Jew a race or a religion?
CMT book.
Oh, it's
is Judaism a race or a religion?
Okay, so it's like an official.
When you sign up for.
Is Islam a race or a religion? Oh, Muslim.
You download PDFs.
Because Muslims are not perfect. Islam is.
But there's a good book that covers
the cousins
of
the Jews, the Ishmaels.
Material covers. But more concisely and
all the Hebrews would be cousins.
John J. Murphy's,
like the tribe of Dan.
I think we talked about that.
What are their colors?
Right? Yeah.
What are their flagship colors? Red and white stripes.
Analysis of
the tribe of Dan.
Right.
Dan doesn't have a religion.
Yeah, it's like a thick textbook full of all the market indicators, all the details, all the equations that go into them.
And Christian
not a light read, but if you ever want to get to know the indicators that you are using in depth, that's a great book, great source of information.
The Phoenix says they're lying.
Even talks about the history of the indicator, how and why it was made, or to trade what kind of market.
Apparently, you're not a believer.
The originator, like the person who coined or invented the indicator, meant it's used for.
Yeah, KL saying I have that book right here at my desk. Yeah,
definitely.
I hope
a lot of people call it the Bible of trading. Yeah, because it has all the indicators and all the information. It's a great source of knowledge.
Yeah, Meta's still going, man. It's broke through the $50. Meta has been a secular play lately. Fair to be said, but Tesla
but it's their own stuff that they
as it often is, and it is now secularly
down. A lot of the companies have been losing losses based on employee
showing
behavior.
a lot of weakness here relative to these other names.
And stuff that get
funny
fired.
because it had a lot of relative strength. We saw it held up a lot better off the algo spike on the CPI number than some other big cappers did. They retraced more aggressively, some to VWAP, some giving up 2/3 of the move, etc. Look at this hold here by Stressla, and then the bell comes in, and then you get the quadruple down into the right, baby. On our friend Stressla, maybe 180 comes in today with 181.89, so essentially 182 holding for the minute. I haven't been trading Tesla all that often lately. What's the 4-hour look on our friend Stressla? Okay, so with respect to recent lows, we had another recent low here on the 10th. And that took us down to about 176.
You have a 4-hour look at your friend's stress level.
That was a big one.
I have a piece of metal that transmits.
That's a 4-hour. So
if you have metal in your body, or if you have a Fitbit, they can read your stress levels. Okay. It's fun to watch a person with heart condition.
Possibly
it's
low
fun
on
to target people with heart conditions or brain conditions.
The March lows that we had here, that 165, not a factor today.
It's a fun to torture your friends, isn't it?
A couple levels marked.
Ryan, how's it going?
Tesla here.
You like sitting and listening to your wife have loud sex with your friends?
A couple of days ago. Do
you like listening to that? I don't think you do.
But yeah, no, straight trend.
Do you like sitting here with your little penis in a cock cage watching a bull banger?
Right?
Well, people film it.
You have Microsoft, Amazon, and
how's your stress
Apple
level?
Not selling off as hard, but definitely Tesla, and I think Meta as well. You said, right?
Are you crying? Is he crying? Are you crying, boy? Are you crying? Did you sniffle? Because your entire families, all your aunts and your uncles.
Yeah, man. Here we go. 215.
Yeah, well, I mean,
dead, all the tears we cried over our dead
green
children.
Candle on NQ, right?
Do we go long here?
You just take other people, break their bones and shit, and just go fund me for my little sick and dying child.
Closer to the 13 would have been a nice RR.
Baby.
Yeah, watch Slumdog Millionaire.
But here, yeah, if you can
watch Slumdog
take like
Millionaire.
A quick scalp or maybe
blind kids and have them like singing and begging.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, we're back to almost break even here on the ES. Still ways away, though, on the NQ, about, I would say, 40 points away still from going flat. But Meta decidedly green now, up 0.6%. Microsoft, no slouch either, though, up 0.67%. It's been up. And nice double balance here off yesterday's close. It was around that 283 level. Yesterday, I think the close was around
those are good. Those are big. Oh, if you had traded there, you could make money. It's like, see what you do is you buy right here, and then it goes up.
That was around,
sell here.
What time did that come in?
See how you buy low and sell high. See, look at these graphs. This is, if you had done this yesterday, look how much money you would have made.
Time of the day, but look, it doesn't close.
And so this is gonna happen the same thing. It's gonna be the same graph. So look at these graphs and you just put your orders in.
Later. 282.
And I'm going to be selling.
Confirmation,
I'm doing the opposite. Don't ask questions about like
really want to wait,
who's selling.
286. That'll be the break through this peak. But I suspect a lot of people will be getting in here as we just took VWAP to the north side. The market printing, Meta's printing, Microsoft moving up, Apple now curling back up too, baby. It's not secular anymore. Even Google's curling up, even though it's not as.
It's not secular. It's a religion. Oh. Here's a scientific book. They don't understand anything they're doing. Yeah, well, teachers know to give them good grades. They're the leaders. This is the leader of society. So they're going to lead you and you obey them.
महसूस कर रहे थे वो माध्यम भी हमसे छूट गया। मार्च 2020 में अचानक से हमारा आश्रम में आना बंद हो गया। इतना ही नहीं, देखिए आज गुरु पूर्णिमा का पवित्र दिवस है और आज के दिवस के लिए हम सभी मिलकर कितनी तैयारियां करते थे। हम सभी जोश और उत्साह के साथ सेवाएं करते थे। उन सब पर भी आज विराम लग चुका है। साधकों, यदि हम इन दोनों टर्निंग पॉइंट्स को जो हमारे जीवन में आए हैं इनको ध्यान से देखें तो उनमें से एक महत्वपूर्ण तथ्य निकलकर सामने आता है। पहला, हमारे गुरुदेव जब समाधि में गए तो उससे 1 वर्ष पूर्व यानी कि 2013 से ही महाराज श्री एकदम से प्रोएक्टिव हो गए थे। एक के बाद एक मीटिंग्स लेना, बार बार संगत को समझाना और यहाँ तक कि महात्मा बुद्ध के जीवन का वह दृष्टांत सुनाया जिसमें उनके कुछ समय के लिए अलोप हो जाने की बात आती है। हमें ऐसे ऐसे भजन महाराज श्री ने सुनवाए जिसमें आने वाले समय की एक झलक मिलती थी, जैसे तूफानी मौसम में जो तूफानी चाल दिखाएगा। इसमें गुरुदेव ने हमें समझाया कि अब समय करवट लेने वाला है, इसलिए सावधान हो जाओ मेरी कोटि कोटि संतानों। तुम अब सावधान होकर चलने का समय है, अब सजग होकर चलने का समय है। साधकों, गुरुदेव चाहे अब भी समाधि में लीन है, लेकिन उनकी कार्य शैली बिल्कुल वैसी ही है। उनका हमें समझाने का ढंग बिल्कुल वैसा है। 2020 की इन वर्तमान परिस्थितियों के प्रति हमें सतर्क करने के लिए हमारे गुरुदेव ने 2019 की अंतर जगत में होने वाली अनुभूतियों के माध्यम से हमें बहुत से संकेत दिए हैं। आपको याद होगा 27 जनवरी 2019 का वह भजन जो अंतर जगत की अनुभूति पर आधारित है और उसे रिलीज भी किया गया, दिव्य गुरु का दिव्य संदेश। महाराज जी ने हमें बिल्कुल स्पष्ट उस भजन के माध्यम से समझाया, पल भर में सब कुछ पलटेगा, परिस्थितियां अभी विकट होंगी, अब जो है वो कल न होगा, अभी तमस्त और घना होगा, दुर्गम पथ पर चलना होगा। ये बात मन में धार लो तुम। गुरुदेव ने हमें जो समझाया आज हमारे साथ बिल्कुल वही तो घटित हुआ है, बिल्कुल वैसा ही हुआ। पल भर में परिस्थितियां ऐसी पलट गई, ऐसी बदल गई कि आज आश्रम आना भी हमारा बंद हो गया, हमसे छूट गया। गुरु भक्तों, इतना ही नहीं, 2020 की इन वर्तमान परिस्थितियों से सतर्क करने के लिए हमारे गुरुदेव ने हमें 1 साल पहले ही 2019 की गुरु पूजा में जो भजन गुनगुनाए गए या उसमें जो सत्संग विचार थे, उनके माध्यम से भी उन्होंने हमें सतर्क किया कि आने वाला समय बड़ा कठिन है, हमें सजगता से चलना होगा। निसंदेह। और इस तरह से दोनों ही टर्निंग पॉइंट्स के लिए महाराज जी ने हमें पहले से ही संकेत दिए ताकि हम अपनी तैयारी कर लें। पर विडंबना है हमारी, जब महाराज जी हमें कुछ समझाते हैं तब हम समझ नहीं पाते, और जब वही हमारे साथ घटित हो जाता है तब पहले तो हम शॉक्ड होते हैं कि हमारे साथ क्या हो गया, और फिर भी गंभीर नहीं होते, फिर भी लापरवाह ही रहते हैं। इस तरह महाराज जी ने हमें 2 अवसर दिए कि हम साधना और सुमिरन से उनसे भीतर से जुड़े ताकि हम उनके संकेतों को समझ पाएं, लेकिन हम दोनों अवसर चूक गए। पर जैसे हम शिष्य अपनी लघुता नहीं छोड़ते, वैसे हमारे दया सिंधु गुरुदेव अपनी कृपा, अपनी दया करना नहीं छोड़ते। तभी तो आज फिर से वो तीसरा अवसर हमें और दे रहे हैं। 2019 के जो महत्वपूर्ण संकेत हमसे छूट गए, आज हमें उन्हें पुनः सुनने का, समझने का, आत्मसात करने का अवसर दे रहे हैं। आज दिव्य ज्योति के इतिहास में पहली बार गुरु पूर्णिमा एक संस्मरण के रूप में मनाई जा रही है, जिसमें 2019 की गुरु पूर्णिमा के वो संकेत, वो महत्वपूर्ण संकेत जो हमसे तब छूट गए अपनी लापरवाही के कारण, आज महाराज जी की दया से इस संस्मरण के माध्यम से हमें फिर से वो सुनने के और समझने का अवसर मिलेगा, क्योंकि वो संदेश आज के समय के लिए बिल्कुल प्रासंगिक है। इसीलिए पहली बार यदि आपने गौर किया हो तो इस गुरु पूर्णिमा का शीर्षक भी क्या रखा गया है? शिष्य उद्धारक गुरु पूर्णिमा। सोच कर देखिए, क्या ये दया नहीं है महाराज जी की हम पर? यूं तो गुरु पूर्णिमा का दिवस गुरु की पूजा का दिवस होता है, पर हमारे उत्थान के लिए महाराज जी ने इस दिवस को भी हमारे लिए समर्पित कर दिया। साधकों, ये तो इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है। निसंदेह की ऐतिहासिक, इस युग की जो ऐतिहासिक गुरु पूर्णिमा होगी वो तो तभी मनेगी जब हमारे गुरु महाराज जी समाधि से वापस लौटेंगे। लेकिन इतिहास की उस गुरु पूजा के साक्षी बनने के लिए आज हमें एहसास की गुरु पूजा मनानी होगी। ये एहसास कि हमने महाराज जी से बहुत कुछ पाया है, पर बहुत कुछ अपनी लापरवाही के कारण गिराया भी है, खोया भी है। ये एहसास कि अब हमें समय वापस नहीं मिलेगा, अगर अब भी हम सजग नहीं हुए तो हमारी बहुत बड़ी हानि हो सकती है। इसी भावना के साथ आइए अब इस संस्मरण की शुरुआत करते हैं। इस संस्मरण के लिए हम आश्रम के विभिन्न दिव्य स्थलों पर जाएंगे। वो दिव्य स्थल जहां महाराज जी का हमें मार्गदर्शन मिला, जहां हमें उनका उद्बोधन प्राप्त हुआ, जहां हमने उनकी दिव्य प्रसाद लीला को देखा, इत्यादि। हम एक बार फिर से उन स्पेशल मोमेंट्स को जिएंगे जो हमने इन स्थलों पर महाराज जी के साथ बिताए हैं, और साथ ही साथ पूरी गहराई से गंभीरता पूर्वक उन समस्त प्रेरणाओं को आत्मसात करेंगे जो महाराज जी ने हमें दिए हैं। तो इसी के साथ अब हम चलेंगे इस संस्मरण की पहली स्थली की ओर, जो वो स्थली है जहां पर कभी तो हमें महाराज जी की मंद मंद मुस्कान मिली है, तो कभी उनकी एक हूं से हमारी तकदीरें खिली हैं, जहां पर उनके दर्शन पाकर कभी हमारी आंखें नम हुई हैं, तो कभी हम प्रसन्नता से, खुशी से झूमे हैं, नाचे हैं। आइए उस स्थली की ओर प्रस्थान करते हैं। चलिए चलते हैं।
जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम। महाराज जी आ गए, महाराज जी आ गए। जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम।
यह झूला साधारण नहीं है गुरु भक्तों, क्योंकि इस झूले पर ब्रह्म ज्ञान प्रदाता, युग दृष्टा, युग प्रवर्तक, अनंत चेतन सत्ता तपोनिधि, महामहिमामय हमारे गुरुदेव सर्वश्री आशुतोष महाराज जी विराजमान हुए हैं। इसलिए यह झूला साधारण नहीं है, यह हमारे लिए दिव्य है। हम इस झूले पर महाराज जी को कभी अंतर्यामी के रूप में देखते रहे हैं, तो कभी कृपा सिंधु के रूप में हमने उन्हें यहाँ देखा है, कभी वो हमें शास्त्रज्ञ के रूप में भी दिखे हैं। वैसे सच बताएं, इतने स्वरूप देखने के बाद भी वास्तविकता क्या है? जिन ब्रह्म ज्ञान प्रदाता गुरुदेव ने इस सृष्टि के सबसे बड़े रहस्य, उस ईश्वर रूपी राज को हमारे भीतर ज्ञान की लौ से प्रकट कर दिया, वो महाराज जी हमारे लिए आज एक महाराज है। इसलिए हम अपने गुरुदेव को क्या उपमा दे? वास्तव में वह क्या है? उन्हें कैसे परिभाषित करें जो ऐसी दुविधा में उलझे रहे? अच्छा, उदाहरण तो दीजिए। उदाहरण के लिए देवऋषि नारद को लीजिए। प्रभु श्री राम जी के अलौकिक व्यक्तित्व को परिभाषित करने के लिए, उनके महनीयता और महिमा को रखने के लिए उन्होंने वाल्मीकि रामायण में बालकांड के प्रथम सर्ग में श्लोक नंबर 8 से लेकर 20 तक उनके लिए अनेक विशेषण दिए। जिस प्रकार से उन्हें धर्मज्ञ कहा, सत्य संचय कहा, उन्हें स्मृतिवान, प्रतापवान और सर्वलोकप्रिय, सर्वसमाह, प्रजानां च हिते रतः, इस प्रकार से देवऋषि नारद जी ने अपने प्रभु को लगभग 76 विशेषण दिए, लेकिन फिर भी अपने प्रभु की परिभाषा को, उनके व्यक्तित्व की परिभाषा को परिभाषित नहीं कर पाए। वैसे सच कहें, देवऋषि नारद जी की दुविधा से बड़ी हमारी दुविधा है। उन्होंने तो फिर किसी तरह 76 विशेषणों से काम चला लिया, लेकिन हमारा 76 से भी काम नहीं बनने वाला। हमें तो लगता है हम इस सृष्टि के सबसे बड़े शब्दकोश को भी क्यों ना ढूंढ लाएं और उसमें से सारे विशेषण इकट्ठे करके क्यों ना लिस्ट आउट कर दें, तब भी हम अपने महाराज जी के व्यक्तित्व को पूर्ण रूप से कभी नहीं परिभाषित कर सकते। जैसे आपने देवऋषि नारद जी की दुविधा के बारे में बताया, वैसे ही महर्षि अरविंद के शिष्यों को भी ये दुविधा रहती थी कि वो अपने महर्षि के व्यक्तित्व के बारे में कैसे बताएं, उसे कैसे परिभाषित करें। पर जैसे देवऋषि नारद जी ने 76 विशेषणों से काम चलाया, ऐसे ही महर्षि अरविंद के शिष्यों ने भी किसी तरह एक तरीका खोज निकाला इस दुविधा से बाहर आने के लिए। आप लिटरेचर में उनके पाएंगे बहुत जगह पर जहां उन शिष्यों को महर्षि अरविंद के मानवीय पक्ष को हाईलाइट करना होता था, तो वो स्पेसिफिकली ये प्रीफिक्स लगा देते थे, ये वर्ड्स ऐड कर देते थे, द ह्यूमन साइड ऑफ श्री औरोबिंदो। महर्षि अरविंद के शिष्यों ने तो उनके इस पक्ष के लिए ह्यूमन साइड वर्ड लगा लिया। लेकिन हमारी दुविधा तो उनसे भी बड़ी है गुरु भक्तों, क्योंकि हम अपने गुरुदेव के किस पक्ष के आगे ह्यूमन साइड लिखें, क्योंकि उनका प्रत्येक पक्ष, उनका प्रत्येक कार्य ही अद्वितीय है, अलौकिक है, दिव्य है। इसलिए हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी दुविधा का विषय है। ठीक ऐसे ही स्वामी विवेकानंद जी की भी दुविधा रही है। उन्होंने एक बार कहा, यदि आप मुझे किसी भी सब्जेक्ट पर किसी भी समय बोलने के लिए कहें तो मैं उस पर विस्तृत व्याख्यान दे सकता हूँ, लेकिन एक विषय है मेरे ठाकुर का, मेरे गुरुदेव का, जिन पर बोलते हुए मुझे बहुत संकोच होता है। सच कहें तो संकोच तो हमें भी होता है अपने महाराज जी के विषय में बोलने के लिए, क्योंकि हमें वो सामर्थ्य ना है और न कभी हो सकता है कि हम उनका महिमा गान करें। लेकिन हम संकोच नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि आज गुरु पूर्णिमा का दिवस है और हमने आपको शुरू में ही ये बताया था कि आज के दिन शिष्य के ऊपर किसी औपचारिकता और विवशता का नियम लागू नहीं होता। आज हम स्वतंत्र हैं अपने गुरु महाराज जी की महिमा को उन्मुक्त कंठ से गाने के लिए। इसलिए आज हम
Daddy's dead. Oh, biting Daddy's money.
trade, no question about that. But we had this trend line draw.
And his kids need to inherit it so I can sue him.
Long, obviously didn't take it, but.
Well, no, not sue. Because foreign terrorists, we just execute them now. There's no rehabilitating them. Kuze and his brother Uday. They're reported dead in Iraq. They took all of Iraq's wealth.
Talking about the NQ
They can't go home. They'll be killed. That's why they're refugees. They're asylum seekers.
But it's flirting with that break-even level. I mean, you got to assume this is going to be an area of resistance at least for a while. Here's the look on that. This is the 5-minute chart on the NQ. We dance around it right before CPI comes in. We retrace right back down to it after the bell. We bounce above it, reject off VWAP, make a new low. Hold 13 for all intents and purposes. We break it, obviously, go 975. But here we are, right back at that level again. That 13.076 yesterday's close. So a lot of price action going through here, Obi. And whether we get continuation or whether we get hang out around these levels, I mean, I don't know. Looks like we're heading to the upside here. A lot of excitement back on the floor there.
That 13 definitely decisive move, right? Like, but again, let's zoom into a little bit of this NQ, right? Let me pull up a smaller time frame, maybe like a 5 minute, so we can get a better view of a little bit of the trend. Like, look, we are kind of testing the top of that range, right? So now, I know Meta, you were saying, has broken that downtrend. Now let's see if the futures can really follow through. Yeah, exactly. Meta doesn't care.
Look, we got somebody play Daenerys' brother who gets friggin' doused in friggin' gold.
Break on the futures, right?
The Devil's Double, Dominic Cooper.
CrowdStrike's moving, big boy. Someone just alerted me to that in the chat. You want to have a look at our friend CrowdStrike?
Sure, yeah,
I'll let you know if there's anything on it here.
Oh, we do. Cool.
At 9:22.
Now at least I know my new channel name.